Good evening. Happy hour day. 8 o'clock p.m. on Friday night in Texas. Thanks for everybody who's in the chat. Thanks for coming out tonight. Appreciate everyone being here. Should have a really good show tonight. Looking forward to it. Check my audio. That looks good there. And have it there. Nope, not that one. This one here. It's getting cold out here in Texas, guys. Hope everyone's staying warm tonight. I don't know who's all cold and who's not, but good stuff, good stuff. Get rolling here in just a second. All right, let me switch over transition here. And I'm on that camera right now because I've got this camera set up on the Zoom, which I'm going to pop into here in a minute. So thanks for joining tonight, guys. Appreciate everyone being here. Ham Radio Happy Hour. We got a pretty good show for you tonight. Hopefully you got some time to sit down and watch us and just have a good time tonight. Let me know, everybody in the chat, what you got beverage-wise in your hand tonight. I know that some people have plans in the morning and you can't partake tonight, but that's okay. You don't have to be here and drinking alcohol. It is a happy hour, so as long as you're happy, that's all that matters. So special thanks to all the green texted folks in the chat. Andy Cowley's in the chat. Racer X07's in the chat. Everybody whose name is in green in the chat is one of my YouTube channel members. So special shout out to the YouTube channel members, guys. Thanks for being here tonight. Thanks for your support of the channel. Great to have everybody in the chat. I'm going to make one really quick announcement, and then we're just going to hop into it. So very informal. Try to be as informal as I can in this dude. So if you guys saw my shopping video this morning, and perhaps my live stream on Wednesday, you might have seen that I'm trying to do a little bit more concentrated efforts with the socks for homeless people that I did last year. Long story short, last year I mentioned Gospel Socks. There's this organization from my church that they donate socks to homeless shelters. You buy brand new socks, donate them to this organization. You can buy them online. You can buy them through my Amazon store where I get affiliate commissions, or you can just buy them yourself. Just go to Amazon, go to Walmart.com, go to Target.com. Send the socks to this website at the bottom of this page here, gospelsocks.com. I'm going to share that link here in shortly. And go out there and buy some socks and send it out, and just put your ham radio call sign on the package when you ship it. Last year, I mentioned this in one of the streams, and it came back a few months later, and they came to me and they said, dude, you got over 900 pairs of socks donated. And that was because of you guys, the ham radio fam. And that was like I wasn't even really trying. So this year, I want to do a concentrated effort. We're going to try to get about 3,000 pairs of socks donated between now and the end of 2021. So that should be really fun, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how you guys step up. I'm going to donate a bunch myself. I haven't done it yet. I'm going to do it probably in the next week or two. So, but that is that there, gospelsocks.com, and there it is. And you guys, so TC Fits, oh, there we go. Hey, TC Fits got a new call sign, W6TCF. Tito's and lemonade for me tonight. Thanks, buddy. Thanks for the super chat. TC Fix with the $5 super chat. Racer X07762. Snow flurries tonight. German lager. Hey, good deal. So you guys made me realize that I forgot my pickle beer. So I'm going to have to go grab some pickle beer here in a second and honor all of you folks who are donating super chats tonight. So let me put this on, and I'm going to put this in. So I'm going to unmute myself here, and I'm going to go over to this screen, and I'm going to unmute you guys, and I'm going to go there. What's up, everybody? How's it going tonight, everybody?
All right, how are you?
Hey.
Doing good.
Party over
here.
Frank's outside. You're outside, Frank.
And where's Don? I came outside so I could share a cigar with Don, and he's not here.
No, he said he had to work tonight, I think, or some volunteer,
Terrible.
volunteer thing tonight that for his job or something. I don't remember exactly what it was, but he's tight. He put a note in the chat few hours ago and said he wouldn't be able to make it tonight. So, so
Yeah.
everyone cheer W1FYG Smoke Signals RF. I wore his shirt. I told him, I said, "Damn, dude, I'm wearing your shirt. You got to show up tonight." But
is he working? He's working too.
I think he's working.
Terrible.
Yeah, I hate it when I have to work.
Yeah.
Man, God, I love work. I absolutely love work. I'm just gonna tell you right now. I can't really get enough of it. So,
Wait, this is your work.
touche. That was kind of the point, Frank. You catch on quick.
He is
good.
fast. He's
That's
really
good.
fast.
He's quick.
I'm
There's
still processing that one. He beat me to it.
Mike should be like, wait a minute. Yeah, so do I. So do I. Yeah. That's what Mike should be doing right now. So, all right, guys. Christiana N6KV drinking a mango dragon fruit lemonade Starbucks refresher. Dude. That's a
lot of words for a
lot
drink.
going on in there. Christiana, I hope you're feeling better, buddy.
Yes.
Take care of yourself
Christiana.
for sure. Yeah. So cheers to him. Thank you for the super chat.
That is not
Appreciate
one
that.
of those that I'm drinking. Whatever, the mango dragon. Yeah.
Mango dragon fruit. Sheesh. And T-Ray KI5QYY. Thank you for the $20 super chat. And Scout75 enjoying 2 gingers tonight. On this end, 2 gingers. I wonder if that means 2 redheaded chicks.
Yeah.
I kind of doubt it,
I
but
was
hey,
Oh my.
This is a family stream, not a family making stream.
no, not really. So,
All right, it's your channel. I'm trying to keep it.
oh man, the happy hour it kind of goes beyond everything. So it's all good. It's all good.
Don't forget TC Fitz and Racer X07.
Oh, I mentioned them.
Oh, you did?
I mentioned
Okay.
this, yeah,
I was having some audio problems a minute ago.
You good now?
Imagine
You
that,
sound
right?
fine. Yeah.
Yeah, my transmitter for my in-ears turned off. So
Okay. Well, you're good. So if you see Scoggins' screen on my screen, it's the 4th one. It's the first one on the 2nd row.
Mm-hmm.
That screen he's playing that our video on is like 110 inches. It's freaking huge. It's a projector, is what it is.
It's not big enough.
So
Waiting to see myself.
Is that the new house?
It is.
That is the new
It
house.
is?
What do you know? Oh yeah, I see the fireplace over there.
Just seeing what the
So-
delay's like. Oh, no, that was me coughing. Okay.
Very nice.
That'd be called
40
the job.
seconds.
Oh, Josh
But,
must have a big screen too. Then
There it is.
Mhm.
Jason liked it when it was just him on screen.
No, I didn't. I said he needs to change that. That's what I said.
And put Frank
So-
on the screen.
Yeah.
I enjoy that.
That's what everybody needs to see is more Frank in their life.
Yes. Tank Radio. Go and
So,
subscribe.
whew, my goodness. Okay. Jason, do you want to make an announcement, sir?
Well, we got new toys, man. I like to, every time you do one of these, I like to have at least something new and excellent. And new and excellent showed up yesterday.
Yes.
And there they are.
That is pretty cool.
The new Life PO4
Ooh.
batteries from PO4 Power.
Uh-huh.
They slice, they dice, and they do
Sexy.
it all.
What is that glowing on top?
They crush, they
Julienne
bludgeon,
fries.
That's
They
it.
probably do crush and bludgeon if you use them the wrong way or the right way.
Ooh, it's
Wrong
got
way.
a screen.
It's got a screen on it. Yeah.
It's
Mhm.
got a meter on it, man.
Oh, that's hot.
That's
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
ready to go into
Beautiful.
Power Wheels right now.
Yeah. Yeah. That's right. That's right.
That's
So
ready to go in Little Geek. My battery just fried. So
So,
Oh no.
So the really
Yeah.
cool thing is that where did that screen go? There it is right there. So the really cool thing is that you guys can head over to gigaparts.com with the link I'm fixing to put in the chat. Gosh, quit doing that. And get 5% off of those prices. But he's got some really good prices on those. And these are brand new, fresh off the boat, man. LivePo 4 batteries.
Wait, he
And-
got stuff off a boat?
Yeah. Well, somebody
That's
did.
amazing.
Somebody got stuff off the boat. I'm not going to say who it was, but yeah.
Off the back
Yeah,
of the
he
truck?
did, off the back of the truck. So
That's
you-
really
The
good
truck-
prices on
The
those.
truck was
Okay.
on the boat, though. That was the
the truck was on the boat.
That's
Yeah,
how
that's
they-
probably right. Yeah.
right.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, really good prices on those. And Frank, you're gonna get to test some with me in a couple weeks.
Yay!
So
One might disappear, so don't be alarmed.
Which one? Which one?
yeah, not the big one, not the 50. So there's a 12, 24, and a 50.
A
So-
12 will disappear.
The 12 might. The 12 is the biggest one you can carry in a plane.
Yeah. Well, that's
So
be the
that's
most
makes it-
convenient for me.
Makes for a good size. Yeah.
I could use
12
that
makes for-
50. I've got a solar system I'm putting up on the roof.
Right.
I
That's
could
what
use
I'm
that
doing too.
50.
Yeah.
Ah.
I could use about 3 of those 50s, but
I got a rant here. I'm going to abstain. But
You got
How-
a rant about batteries you're abstaining from?
yes.
So
Okay. Think I told you got to stop chaining those 9 volts together.
I'm
Right.
trying. I'm trying.
yeah, that would be good there. But yeah, so Jason, thanks for sharing that tonight. Really looking forward to testing those out.
Those things are already selling quite well right now. So it's one of those things. If you, I hate to sound like everybody else on TV, but if you want one, you need to get on it right now.
Supplies are limited.
Supplies are limited.
Operators are standing by.
Yeah.
Did you
Tell
drop
you
the
what, at
link?
those prices,
I
you'll
haven't seen
probably
in the
sell
chat
out of them
yet.
quick.
I did drop the link, Frank. Yes.
Hit it
It's
again. The chat's exploded.
The chat's rolling by real quick. There it is, right there.
So the 1212 is 99. The 1224 is 199.
You want to pin
But
it?
the sweet deal, the very sweet deal, is the 50, and it's 349.
Nice.
A comparable
$349 for the
Bioino is
50?
$500.
Right. $349 for the
That's-
50.
That's a real good price.
It is.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the 1212 is 99 and the 1212 Bioino is 125. I went and looked that up today. So now I'm not dogging Bioino, but Bioino makes a fantastic product.
Sure.
But yeah, I mean they're not the only option out there. So
No,
so
these
yeah,
are
those
these got 5-year warranties on them as well.
Nice.
Yeah,
So
good deal.
we're gonna take care of them.
Cool, man. How's Molo doing?
Mr. Steve is in Nashville, Tennessee tonight, enjoying his extended wedding experience.
Yeah. That must gosh, what was that, like 2 or 3 weeks ago, the last time we had the happy hour and he was on here and he got married the next day and he's still gone?
Yeah, he's still doing his thing, man. He
That's
comes and
great.
goes to work, but they go off on the weekends and have a good old time.
Yeah, that's
Nice.
awesome.
Nice to have
So-
the time. The time.
That's right.
So, guys, I've already got the next show's toy. It's how would y'all like to do satellite with no computer and a little box of self-contained?
Right here. Right here.
Well,
I
if
call
it's
it. It's mine. Mine.
If it's a
I call it-
tripod with an antenna that will point itself, then yes. That's what I
It
do.
does.
I'm with Josh.
Oh,
the
then
mo-
yes, I'm on
It's
board.
it's the motor that controls all that, actually.
Mm.
It's the brains that controls all the things, man.
There you
It's
go.
About the size of a deck of cards.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Hmm.
Well,
Yeah.
you need the rotor then.
You need the rotor and the antenna, but this thing will
Yeah.
control any of them.
Well, there's
Yeah.
that's the money. Is those that Yaesu rotor? They're not giving that thing away.
Mm-mm. No, but why would you need a Yaesu rotor? Those are like really beefy, heavy duty rotors. You can get like a high gain for $100 or so.
For the X and
Oh.
Y and the Z.
I don't know about that.
The problem
maybe.
is the Z.
The problem is the
that's
Z.
What, that's what
the-
gets you.
Yeah.
That's why the
okay.
Yaesu's $500.
Yeah, yeah.
it's
I
a-
thought they were more than that. Sheesh.
Just have more kids, man. Put it up. Put it up. That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Isn't the government? Nope. Hi, I'm Tank Radio. I'm not saying anything political.
Right. No, but he showed me that earlier, Frank, and I did think of you. So
Mine.
maybe we'll get one of those to toy with maybe one of these days.
It'll be here on
So-
Monday.
Cool. You're deciding to carry that then, because I know you're questioning it there for a
Well,
minute.
we're going to give it to the powers that be and let you all kick the tires out hard and see if it's worthy.
Nice.
Good.
What do you got there, Josh? You're showing off.
Somebody asked me in the chat, Racer X said, what am I drinking? I am drinking a coffee stout from Modern Times in San Diego called the Black House.
Mm.
And they have they make seasonal varieties of these. They're higher alcohol
Mhm.
content, like Monster Black House, and some
Mhm.
other ones that are real good. That's a consistent one. Real good.
We have those here. I've tried them once or twice. They're, if you like a harsh coffee flavor, they're good. But I'm not. I like more of a mild coffee flavor. It's just a personal preference.
Oh, this is like drinking a cup of black coffee
yeah,
in
yeah,
beer, basically, in beer
yeah,
form.
yeah. So it's good. It's a good. If you like coffee stouts, you should like it. It's a good coffee stout flavor to it. So good.
I still like that PBR hard coffee. That sounds pretty good.
That is on the very sweet side in comparison to
is.
this. This is way dark black coffee, much more
Mhm.
bitter. But
Yeah.
I got, for who would have thought in 2021 we'd be saying, hey, PBR's got a good
I know
something you
it.
should put in
Yeah,
your
I
mouth.
know. Yeah, yeah.
Ape, ape.
Who knew? But I don't know if Ape would like PBR. Honestly, I know he wouldn't like the coffee PBR. He
No.
doesn't like it. He doesn't like any flavor in his beer at all.
Yeah.
Like
So-
beer flavored beer.
Oh,
Miller
yeah.
Lite kind of tastes
No.
like the can.
I still
Yeah.
I do have those
I mean,
ghost pepper beers. I think I'm gonna save one for Jason so that he can drink it on the stream.
Ooh,
Yes.
I like to have
I
some of that too.
I keep.
Have you
dipping
tried
into
it?
'em. Oh yeah, I drink a ton of them. I like it, but it's.
But is it
the
really,
s-
really hot?
It is the spiciest beer I've ever drank.
Okay.
It is spicy and it tastes like ghost
Mm.
peppers.
So there's a brewery out here that made one out of was it I think there's one place that made an habanero beer, and it was like this very light looking lager beer.
Yeah.
And they would only serve it to you in like a shot glass, like a flight glass. It's like
Mhm.
6 ounces, I think, something like that.
It's
And I'm
a,
like, God.
it's a tall boy that it comes in. It's
Oh, okay.
it's-
Okay.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
a lot.
But that habanero beer was no joke. It was on point with you would drink it. It was nice and cold out of the tap, and then right about there it would the whole way down.
Wait,
and you're like,
What beer was this, and where can I get it?
it was. I believe it was a special tap. I think Hop and Sting had one at one point, and I think Shannon had one at one point as well. They were experimental batches, so it's not like a regular beer, but I've seen some other companies that have some, and I haven't. I'd be interested to try a ghost pepper beer. So
Yeah, I might actually go back to the brewery because it's right by my work and see if they've got more of them because it's ghost pepper. Yeah, it's very spicy and it tastes like ghost
Mhm.
pepper, but it is a mango milkshake IPA. It is
Oh, okay.
really good. So
That
it's
sounds good.
it's well balanced because it's got a kind of a mango thing going on.
Yeah.
And a milkshake generally implies a really thick, hazy IPA.
Right.
But this is stupid spicy too. It's like all the things going on. It's wild.
Well, okay, so there's a place out here that makes it, and I don't like IPAs. Most people know this, but there's a place out here that makes milkshake IPAs,
Oh, they're
and
great.
they're IPAs with lactose in them. They're not really
Yep.
hazy. I wouldn't really describe them as hazy.
Well, I mean,
I'm-
it is physically hazy, but yes, you're
It's
right,
it's
got
physically,
lactose
it
in
looks hazy, but it's not a hazy IPA.
Right.
So yeah, and the milkshake IPAs, I mean, I'm like, you know what? These are not too bad. So I typically like those, and mango's always good in a beer anyway, I think.
Yeah.
So cool.
Remember that-
I'd be interested to try that.
You remember that chocolate mint stout we had up in
Mm-hmm.
Belton?
Mm-hmm.
That was pretty decent.
That was good. Yeah.
Wasn't too sweet, but it had those essences of the cocoa and the mint in it.
What
Stouts are
didn't
stouts
we
are
try
often good.
at Belton, man?
I'm pretty
I
sure
think
we tried everything
almost
there.
everything on their tap,
Yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much.
and that's
Yeah.
a challenge.
Yes. Yeah, they have like 60 taps. Yeah, 60 taps at that place, all from Texas.
Yeah, that
And,
place is
it's
cool.
a really cool place. So
Texas.
Yeah, where is Ape? Is he in the chat or is he? They're
Mm-mm.
calling out Ape in the chat.
He
as well.
Said he was.
Is-
He said he was going to some bar tonight. And
Yeah,
he
he's at
said,
a bar.
yeah.
So he's gonna
getting
join us
crunked on Miller
after-
Lite.
after he
Yeah.
after he tunes himself up. Nice.
Mm.
That could
After I
be,
wore his shirt,
that could be funny
Yeah.
if he joins us later.
Terrible.
We should just all go grab our shirts and put them on.
we're channeling the ape.
Channeling the ape. Channeling the ape.
I
Wow.
don't know how to.
He's like, I don't want any of this Miller Lite I got at home. I got to go to the bar and drink some draft Miller Lite.
Some draft Miller Lite, because that's so much better.
Upscale.
Yeah.
What High Life?
Well, the lines are probably dirty and full of mold and stuff, so it adds a little. It enhances the flavor a little.
It's a
bit.
nutty flavor.
Yeah.
It's a nutty flavor.
It's gonna, yeah. You got to be nutty to drink it, I think. So, oh boy. Okay, so what's okay, so Dixie's in the chat. Let me let her in real quick. Or in the waiting room. I'm sorry. Dixie's in the waiting room. Arthur, thank you for the 199 super chat. W6HER. So, really cool news. Really cool news. Some of you might have heard this on my shopping video this morning. I hope everybody's watching that. Put Black Friday in the title of your video and watch how many more people watch it. I'm just saying. But
Black Friday Poda.
yeah, Black Friday POTA, do that.
I'm in the ball.
I will.
Right now.
I will.
I'm gonna be taking cues.
Yeah.
In the food. I'm right by
Yeah,
Orange
that's
Julius.
right. That's
Let's
right.
go.
So my nephew, who's 14, went and took his test last night and passed his test. So he
Awesome.
is he is
Oh,
an
congratulations.
an AT which means almost technician, I guess. But he didn't have his call sign. He'll have his call sign next week sometime. So I'm gonna.
Oh, they did it the slow way.
Yeah, they did it the ARRL paper
Yeah.
way. I tried to get him to do the online thing. He's like, I'd rather take it in person. I'm like, okay, that's cool. If that's how you want to do it. No big deal.
Welcome to the longest
But,
2 weeks of your life waiting for your calls.
They said it would. They said it would be like Tuesday or Wednesday of next week. They said that they were submitting paperwork on
We're sending
Sunday,
it.
and it's usually a day or two. Well, they submitted it electronically,
We're
and then
sending
they mail it in after the fact.
We use a series of pneumatic tubes at the ARRL
Right.
to route your application directly
Series of-
to the
series of
FCC.
Mm-hmm.
I think I have the longest record for waiting for a call sign because right at about 2 weeks, back in, was it 2013? That's when the government went into a shutdown for about 2 or 3 weeks.
Sheesh.
So there I was with my FT60 and, no one to talk to.
And the entire country benefited from the government being shut down for that long. Go figure.
Yeah,
Well,
so
they lay
you're
off unessential workers. It's like if they're unessential, why are they working anyways?
Right. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Of course,
so
the
your
government is unessential.
application just sat on the fax machine waiting for when they
Pretty much.
Right.
Is it not normal to get your call sign pretty quickly?
electronically. It's very
Depends
fast.
on how they
These
do it.
days, yeah.
went-
These days you can get them and you can get them same day sometimes.
Yeah.
These days, so
Yeah, I did. I worked with Glarg on a testing session for Cal Poly, which brings me to another quickie story. And
yeah, Cal
they
Poly.
did that online thing, and by Monday, several of them already had their licenses. And we did the test on Saturday.
yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I learned something weird on my end because I took the test on Saturday for all 3 of my tests. I had my call sign or my approval by the following Tuesday. So it was literally a 3-day or 2.5 day wait.
That's pretty good.
That's quick. I mean, I got lucky, I guess.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
really good.
if I can jump in on this one, it's kind of a public service announcement, if you will.
Go ahead.
I wasn't at the last happy hour because I was at Cal Poly San Luis Obispo. My daughter attends there for architecture, and she's joined the ham radio club, much to the chagrin of me, because she always badmouthed ham radio because she was too cool of a teenager. And now she's gotten into it. She's even helped with Joda and all that good stuff. But what I found out about Cal Poly San Luis Obispo, if you want to be an electrical engineer, you are required to get your tech license.
Really?
Whoa.
Which is a good way of getting it
kinda
out
neat.
there and getting people licensed and into it. And
On one
watching
hand, I
these
disagree
kids,
with that.
you know,
But
and
go ahead.
watching these kids, a lot of the like Cal Poly's club, Sea Park, Cal Poly Amateur Radio Club is 74. I think it's 74 years old. It's the oldest club on campus, and a lot of the colleges have it. And I highly recommend if anyone wants to get involved with the club or help out. I donate some of the equipment and time when I can. Please help these college and university ham clubs, and even the high school ones like Steve has. I just think they're a great way to keep the hobby going, especially trying to get kids off of their cell phones.
Yeah.
Give them a new addiction.
Yeah.
Get them off the TikToks and onto ham radio.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the price is about the same.
Off the TikTok onto the dit-daw.
There
You know
you
the
go.
worst. You know the worst part is my 16-year-old son. He has a job working at a farm, and he works a lot and he works hard. And then he comes home and he downloads Farm Simulator on his cell phone.
Shut up.
So he goes to work, and then he's playing Farm Simulator on his cell phone. I'm
I
like,
guess
what?
maybe-
It's research.
Maybe
He's
he thinks
researching
he
the crops.
Yeah, maybe he thinks he knows how to win that game now.
Oh,
you
we
know?
went to pick up cows the other day, and my son's like, "You want to castrate the bull?" I said, "Yeah, get your boss to castrate the bull." He comes out with the whole tool and kit, and I'm like, "What are you doing? You've done it before." He's like, "Oh yeah, I do it all the time." It's crazy when your son grows up, or, or your kids grow up, and you realize, like, you still look at them as kids, and then meanwhile here they are castrating a bull. It's
The fact that that's on an Android app is just shocking to me.
yeah.
Good
Yeah,
old
that's a
Rocky
good-
Mountain oysters.
Yeah. Oh boy. All right, cool. Well, does I usually go do the roundtable thing and thank everyone for being here, but
That's broke.
Uh-huh. Yeah, well,
Dude, what?
Franked it up for everybody. So
I did not.
does anyone have anything that they want to talk about tonight? I mean, I'm just going to kind of open floor.
Well, we got to hit the Monday Night Ham Radio for the ARRL handbook, right? Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So I actually finished my video today and it's
Me too.
uploaded. I need
Me
to do
too.
my, yeah. I need to do my my thumbnail. I haven't done my thumbnail yet. So how many of them?
I got a banging thumbnail. I was very proud of my thumbnail. I got my little O-light orb bulb light thing involved. I was like, phew, man.
Did you fix your title, because that wasn't so banging?
Oh no, I think we're just gonna go with ass membling.
Ass membling.
That's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna run it until David Minster calls me to correct it.
Yeah,
I'm kidding.
right.
I'm kidding.
Yeah. So we've got 7 slots that are, I think they're 15 minutes each, starting at 5:15 Central Time, going through. I guess it'll end at about 7 Central Time.
Well, we're going through the whole handbook, so it'll be a 24-hour event.
Right? Yeah.
Just kidding. I'm kidding.
I don't think we can
We're
do
not
it
going
in
through the whole
24.
handbook. Yeah, good game. Good game sent several of us a section of the handbook to review. So we're talking about a single individual section. So there'll be 7 sections covered that night. So
Are you going over the extra portions? Because I like to know that.
It's the handbook.
It's the handbook.
That's not what's in the handbook, Frank.
It's how to ham harder after you get your extra. That's what the handbook's about.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
All the things they don't tell you in the test.
Right. Yeah, what to do in ham radio. Mine is on the ham radio lifestyle, is what it's called, and it's basically just a list of all the things you can do in ham radio, like de-expeditions and field day and contesting and AMSAT and all this stuff. And it lists like a good 7, 8, 9, maybe 10 things, and I'm like, this is tip of the iceberg, guys. You could have listed like 30.
You
more
could make
things
a
on
whole
there,
book
so.
just on that.
Yes, you could. Yeah, you could. I mean, it's done very well. Don't get me wrong. It's done very well. But yeah, it's very tip of the iceberg.
I've been saying that about ham radio. It's a hobby of hobbies.
I got your whole video. 2 minutes,
anywhere.
Jason. The ham radio lifestyle it's just like your regular life, but you bring a ham radio with you all the time.
Yes.
That's
Pretty
it.
much.
It wouldn't take 2 minutes to say that.
Ask your wife.
Yeah.
Oh, you're
At least
embarrassing me.
one
You're
radio.
bringing. How many radios are you bringing? I don't know.
Yeah.
8. What's the problem?
Yeah.
I'm living the ham radio lifestyle.
This from the guy who wore a tux to a wedding and had an FT8 transmitter underneath his jacket.
Not FT8,
So-
APRS, and it was
APRS,
a
okay,
Yaesu. And
okay.
I literally had a body antenna. It was wrapped around me and my suspenders. Yes.
That is amazing.
I was living the ham radio lifestyle.
That's right.
Some
There
of
you
us
go.
are just some of us are just a little more committed than
Yeah,
everyone else.
yeah.
I don't know. I'm just kidding.
That reminds me of another story that
Committed is the right word.
I had a date slug me in the middle of a movie. But continue on.
Josh, I have the feeling that you planned that for a long time, because not long before that, you tested about cooking a hot dog with an antenna. And so, was that preparation for wrapping your body with an antenna?
You're starting Willet Antenna, the hot dog edition was really just Willet Antenna me.
Yeah, right.
That's right.
That's good. All right, so that's coming up Monday night. Christiana, thank you for the $5 super chat. Jason, has Frank gone over the wild side with the 2 torches now do we have to bow to him when he's on? Well, I thought
Yes.
I thought it looked like he was in at a luau in Hawaii, but that's because I got Hawaii on the brain. My wife and I are going to Hawaii next year.
Temple of Doom,
next week.
Frank, you got
Yeah,
going.
Temple of Doom. That's what it
Ooh,
looks
I
like.
like that.
What was
I'm
the
gonna keep that
Kalima
up.
shock today? Kalima.
So I'm going to call
Start
this studio the Temple of Doom Studio.
Mm-hmm.
nice.
Doom Studio.
Good.
But I do have something to
Sponsored
say.
by Microsoft Surface.
Don't light those inside your house, Tank.
Yeah.
No, these are
doubt.
outside only.
Mm-mm.
But I just had something to say. I recently launched a Patreon on my channel, and I'm open up to Patreons, and I am welcoming anyone that's going in there and giving me donations. I bought my first equipment with the Patreon money. I got a new camera for upstairs, and I'm looking forward to all the great things coming down the pipe with the extra funding. So if you already had supported me on there, great. If you're thinking about it, great. Anything's welcome, and that's all I had.
Cool. Well, you've been talking about that for a while, so I'm glad you finally did it.
Yes,
So,
and
it's a good,
Mike NWayIO said 2 Rudy cups. Yes, this is the one I drink out of, and this one is the refill of the water, because we all need to drink more water, especially when we're
that's very
drinking
true.
whiskey.
It's very true. Very true.
Oh, is that how that works?
Back up a whiskey.
Yes,
Usually, it's supposed to be.
there,
It's
there
supposed to be
is-
how that works.
Every time I hear Rudy, I think about the movie. That was the best movie. when I
That
a
was
kid.
a good movie.
Yeah, it was.
I enjoyed that one. So, yep. So good. Okay, let's see. This guy's name in the chat is ThinkPad Mods and Rebuilds. That's okay. I really liked your video tribute posted yesterday for Veterans Day. Oh, thanks a lot. Thank you for the support, sir. Sergeant Major Air Force retired Chris. Hey, bud. Thanks for being on the in the chat, and thank you for their service as well. Yeah, happy Veterans Day to all the people who served out there. Seriously,
Indeed.
and thank you for your service to everybody who did serve.
Cheers to our veterans, guys.
I don't know if
Veterans,
that's
yeah,
Sergeant
salute.
Major or Senior Master Sergeant. Air Force has some weird ranks.
I don't
You
know.
can correct me. I don't know.
SM Sergeant. I read that as
Senior
Sergeant
Master.
Major. Senior Master. Okay.
That
Yeah,
might be Senior Master Sergeant.
Might be.
It's still way up there. It's a lot higher
Yeah.
than I got.
We should come up with those terms for ham radio YouTubers. You know?
Oh, that's
Well,
a good
Josh would be
idea.
the general.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Chief of Staff.
Chief of Staff. Yeah. I just go for Vice President, but
then we'd have to go to the monarchy system for the court jester for tank radio. So
silence, village idiot.
What was that? It's not the monarchy system. What was that? What is it? What's that called? I don't know. King, queen, court jester, prisoner.
That's
Monarchy.
That's monarchy.
That's monarchy.
Yeah.
You had
But
it
is
right.
that what it's called? Yes, that's what
Yeah,
it's
it's the
called.
monarchy.
No, you're in Canada, Molson. Why don't you tell us what it's called?
We
Yeah,
told the
don't
queen.
you,
don't have-
don't you live under Queen Elizabeth?
We
Yeah.
told the queen where to go years ago.
Oh, okay.
Yet she's still all over your money.
yeah.
She's all over all our money in a
You know,
different
go
way.
in my wallet. Go in my
That's
wallet.
Oh boy. Anybody find Kyle's hard drive? Evan asks. Kyle, did you lose a hard drive?
You didn't hear that story?
I guess not.
Tell it.
I
Kyle.
guess not.
so more people can join in that treasure hunt.
It's on replay. Yeah.
Yeah, you have to watch Team Replay for that.
All right.
Oh.
Okay, I can
A
do
little
that.
teaser.
No, play it now. Play it now. We'll do it live.
Play it now.
Do it live.
The Clubhouse last Thursday night or Tuesday night. I'm sorry, Clubhouse. They were talking all about it. And
Oh,
T-shirts
okay.
came from it, so maybe they're in
Okay.
the works.
I did not. I caught the first 10 minutes of Clubhouse this week, but I got busy. I think my wife and I went out for dinner that night, so I left 10 minutes after it started. So didn't catch the whole thing. But
Oh, you got Andy Cowley has a little bit of a teaser or hint for you guys.
Bitcoin.
Kyle
Oh, no.
Bitcoin.
Oh, no.
You toasted your hard drive, huh?
Bye bye.
Lindsay and Lindsay also says save
It wa-
him,
it wasn't-
private
it-
Kyle.
It wasn't
a-
like it was yesterday. This was 10 years ago. I roasted
Oh.
the hard drive.
Oh, okay.
So,
So
That
you've been a
makes it
loser.
worse.
You've been a loser for 10 years.
yeah. I mean, it was whenever Bitcoin was $1.25 a Bitcoin.
Shit.
I mean, if I would have
Uh.
probably spent the same amount of money in Walmart stock, I'd probably have the same amount of dollars, you know? So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. David Holt, welcome to intro for YouTube membership. Appreciate you joining tonight, bud. Again, all the people in the chat with green names and the special icon next to their name are the YouTube channel members. A shout out to all you guys. Thanks for supporting the channel.
Who else
So
haven't had a chance to say that much yet? Kat joined us. What do you
Yeah.
got going on?
What do I have going on? The same
Yeah.
old thing, though. Just the stuff with Rhea.
Yeah?
We're working on some more stuff.
What are y'all doing? Because that's pretty cool. You snorted.
Nice.
Did you just snort?
Yes.
Okay.
I swear, when I was younger, I did not snort at all. It wasn't until I had my deviated septum fixed that my dad gave me from hitting me in the face when I was around 10 years old with a softball and softball practice and created it. Yeah, when it got
Sure.
fixed, I now have snorts.
Your
so.
explanation just de-escalated that whole
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah.
It's like
Stab
your
in the
dad hit you in
face.
face.
Soldering iron.
So,
Oh, what a-
so I had a free nose job. So there you go.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
Huh.
So what you and Rhea are doing? Because that is
I
pretty
just
cool.
thought of Spaceballs.
Yeah.
We're doing like touching basic stuff on the basis of everything, and then we're also trying to get more people in on So any YLs that want to come on the show, we're looking forward to trying to get some more of that attention. So that's what we're really doing right now.
Cool.
That's awesome. Cool. Well, thank you for
good deal.
joining.
For sure.
Craig hasn't said much. What do you got going on in your world, man?
Well, thankfully the channel finally, after umpteen years, finally hit 1 million views. So I'm happy about that one.
Woot!
Nice.
So
Nice. Congratulations.
I'm almost catching up with Mike, almost, but not even quite. But no, the channel's growing steadily. I seem to have noticed with all these manufacturers, or is it just me? There's this huge surgence of GMRS radios. Seems like every other week a new GMRS radio is coming out from somebody. I mean, just look at my channel. I seem to have,
I
like
have
50
one.
videos.
It's got they got a really big shot in the arm last week when everyone started getting locked at home and worried about communications. A lot of and GMRS is easy. I mean, you just buy it and you've got a license. So yeah, there's a pretty good GMRS activity going on right now. So but it's all good. I mean, I've had my license for like 11 or 12 years. So
I've had mine for about 2 months.
It works. It's cool when you go out to an overlanding show and there's people on those frequencies. So
I like it for camping. Some of my family doesn't have like extended family. They don't have ham licenses, so this way they can do something. Or for caravanning in cars, works.
Yep, it makes it convenient for sure.
I just got a GMRS, 2 GMRS radios that Redivis sent me. I don't even have a license for it, but I was like, there's a loophole here because FRS shares frequencies.
Right. Correct. Yep.
I can still do the video. So, but I know
Well,
almost
25
nothing about
watts.
GMRS. So I've been learning a little bit, and I actually programmed my TYT. What is this? 8900 or 9800, whatever it is, for all the GMRS. There's more GMRS traffic that my antenna can pick up than there is ham radio traffic. Like, repeater in my area is dead. Simplex is dead. And there's a repeater on channel 17 and channel 20 that I don't know where they are. Like I look on repeater book and it doesn't say there's anything around me, but they're there. So
mygmrs.com is 50% right. Most 50% of the time it's right. So yeah, there's not a very good up-to-date listing on GMRS repeaters. I mean, there's 2 in Dallas and 1 in Denton, but if you go to like mygmrs.com, but there's actually like 3 or 4 more around here that aren't listed. So there's not a really good way to find those that I've found.
What's the traffic like for you there, Mike, on GMRS?
I just have it in my radio and I scan it with the other repeaters, and I'll hear between all the GMRS channels and all the repeaters that I can hear where I'm at, which are few. I probably hear more GMRS traffic, so I don't want to spend $80 on a license though. So if I get one, I'll probably wait until it's like $35. And
when is that drop, by the way?
But they're still like they're only. I mean, I'm not hearing them very well. I'm my antenna, my VHF antenna outside is about 20, 25 feet off the ground, and I mean, there may be 1 bar of signal on the radio, so
we're lousy.
Fairly far.
We're lousy with GMRS repeaters out here, and it feels like they're all competing to be the 435 out here.
We got the only one I found worth Josh. The only one I found worth the darn is on Santiago.
I don't know, man, but every repeater I've ever hit on GMRS, everybody's just screaming at each other.
I love the 435.
They're all just screaming and yelling at each other. It's like, man, all right, what's going on here? What is this for?
CB with a license.
It literally is.
Yeah.
CB with a license. It's wild, dude. It's wild.
Let me thank Jeff Neely, $20 super chat. Thanks for being in the chat, man. Appreciate the support. And David Holt upgraded to Amateur Extra, which is my top tier YouTube channel membership. So thank you very much for that. Appreciate you guys being here tonight. Yeah. Good deal. So go ahead. I'm sorry, Craig, if that was you.
I say if anyone's ever interested, the best mobile radio I found for GMRS is the BTEC 50X1.
That's a good one. According to Buy Two-Way Radios, the one now they don't sell the BTEC stuff, but their most popular one right now, even out of all the Midland stuff they have, is that Waxon, that Oshang KG1000G. They say that's the most popular one being sold right now. So, and it's a neat radio. That's the one I've got. I've got it mounted in my truck, but I don't have an antenna on it right now. So it's a pretty cool rig. But those BTECs are nice. You're right. I had one of those for a short period of time, and I think they sent me one. I had to send it back to them or something. I don't remember now. But that is that's a neat rig as well.
Yeah, the new G11S from Baofeng is also, it's not the most powerful thing. It's 3 watts. I did a video on that one the other day, and for what it is, it's a great starter radio. There's only 14 menu items, so you're not going to get all weighted down with anything. They have their software on Radiodity.
Yeah.
For GMRS software?
Yeah, it's it's GMRS.
Is that just to set the repeater tones?
Yeah, and you can rename some radios. You can rename the channels. You can call it Dallas Repeater or whoever repeater instead of just Channel 7. You know, you can rename stuff. But yeah, basically you just set the PL tones and change the names.
Yeah, and you can put in some ham stuff to listen to.
Yeah, constant ham screaming.
I need to get
near me.
I need to get myself an HT. I bought an HT just before I got licensed just to listen. I bought the Baofeng EV5R. It's for where I live. It's a piece of shit. Like you can't get into any repeaters or anything like that. And so besides for that, I've never bought an HT. So now I really think I need to find something that
have you tried a better antenna?
Right.
Yeah. Exactly.
The UV5R antenna is crap. Seriously, it's junk. Get a signal stick or something to put on.
Signal sticks are really good.
Literally anything better than anything other than the Baofeng antenna.
You could stick a paper clip in the top of it and probably do better than the Baofeng antenna.
Yeah.
So
what's
I have a safety pin in mine.
Or you can get an Abri.
So this might sound like a dumb question, but like,
probably is.
Yeah. It is. It is me. It is me, and I've been drinking, but
it's still going to be amazing.
I can't wait.
No, but what's reasonable to expect for this? Like, obviously, you have a lot of factors. You have, trees. You have terrain. You have all that. But let's say we're talking Texas, everything's flat.
Cows.
Like what's reasonable to expect from an HT in general? Like,
hold on,
Texas, Odessa to Lubbock.
I've got this. Yeah, I've got this. Okay, this question, I've been making a lot of GMRS videos over the last few months, and this question gets asked all the time. In fact, a couple of guys got mad at me in the chat one time, or in the comments one time, and said, "How come nobody ever says the range? What's the range?" I'm like, dude, that's not an easy question. I was like, technically, the range is unlimited because I can talk to the freaking International Space Station on a 5-watt HT because I have line of sight.
Mm-hmm.
But what you don't understand is that terrain, trees, buildings, cars, all the crap in between you and the other station
Noise
on the ground,
Earth curvature.
Completely changes all that. So yeah, you say, well, this radio can reach 20 miles. Well, I can actually reach about 200 miles if you're talking straight up to a satellite, sure. But I mean, it's not an easy answer. I mean, it really depends on what's between you and the station you're trying to talk to.
For sure, and that's why I said it's probably a stupid question. But every other, for instance, every other industry, like for instance, my industry, they say, how long can I expect this to last? Well, that depends too.
Yeah,
like you can beat the shit out of the product, or you can take care of it. But I think there's some level of saying, like for instance, my buddy who has a farm, my other buddy who has a farm, he's like, hey man, I like to be able to talk to my wife at home. We just had the baby. The fields are about 1.5 miles away. Can I do it on GMRS with 2 watts? And so there is a level where we could. But it's not always going to hit the mark, but you can.
Right.
An educated,
couple miles would be typical.
But the thing you did was you provided context. The problem that we all get on our comments is how much range can I get? Well, I don't know. What's your situation?
Right.
Yeah.
Give me context.
Internet.
Let me know what you got so I can give you a better answer. But if you just say how far it go, it's like,
right.
I don't know.
I had a guy.
Put a 50-watt transceiver in the farmhouse and a handy talkie on the tractor or whatever. Done. Done.
Yeah.
You can go wherever you want.
I mean,
I had a guy get mad at me in a comment one time, and he said, "No, my Baofeng can go 25 miles. I can talk to the repeater 25 miles away." I'm like, "Well, really? How high up is that repeater?" "Oh, it's like 400 feet in the air." I was like, "That's why."
Well, yeah.
You just answer your own question. Congrats on that.
I do 46
you know, because
miles.
you're not talking 25 miles from Bofang to Bofang across land with buildings and trees and all this crap.
Jason.
Sure, you got a mountain range going through the middle of your town like they have in Little Rock, Arkansas. Of course you can do that.
Video idea. Me and you, next time you're in Galveston, we rent 2 boats or get 2 boats. We go out in the Gulf and with HT, see how far we can get.
This sounds like some kind
get
of
pretty
experiment.
far with that.
This sounds like a flat earther experiment. Get 2
They did
boats.
that
Go
here.
in separate directions.
Go until you fall off the end of the earth.
So there be dragons.
We had a couple guys here do that.
But
We had a
it'd
couple
be
guys-
interesting. Sorry, go ahead, Greg.
Oh, so we had a couple guys do that here. One was standing on top of Mount Baldy, and the other one was on Santiago Peak. And those are what, Josh, about 30 plus miles apart, maybe 40.
Yeah.
And 5-watt HTs, no problem, because there's nothing in the way.
Nothing
Not
in
a
the way.
damn
Yeah.
thing.
But I
Line
do
of
that
sight.
from my front yard. I can talk from my Baofeng to Santiago Peak, which is 40 miles
course.
straight as the crow flies to that repeater, because it's
And
just
then-
go RF,
Yep.
go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can hit Catalina before I probably hit Josh's place because I just have the Pacific Ocean between me and that, and I'm 700 feet in the air.
And Catalina's an easy one to hit too from where we're at.
It is.
I mean,
Catalina wine mixer.
that's right. And the Catalina packet radio BBS is still running. It's awesome.
Yep.
Scout says, I see Jason staying on shore, telling Tank to keep rowing.
Keep going. You're not far enough yet, Frank. Keep going.
Are you in Mexico? No, keep going.
So there's this website that a lot of those radio internet companies use. You know, like the ones that they'll have there's a repeater tower like, I don't know, 500 feet from my house here in the country, and there's a website they use, and you put the address where you want to go from where and where, and it literally maps the whole train throughout. You tell the tower height and the other side.
Oh, that's called what is that
has
called?
one too.
I'm sure there's a couple. I'm sure there's a couple of them, but
Radio Mobile. RadioMobile.com, I think. Or if you just Google Radio Mobile, there's a website. Yeah, you can put in your terrain, your frequency, and your power, and your gain of antenna, and it'll give you a topographical map that says here's how far your signal should reach, and it gives you like solid signal, half signal, and barely any signal, that kind of thing. And it's it's a pretty cool. It's a pretty accurate from what I've seen. It's well, last time I used it was anyway. I thought it was pretty cool.
It would be pretty cool because when people have questions like I have, because like it's not a bad question, but it, like Josh said, it takes context, it takes some information.
Yeah.
Because really, it's kind of like, okay, do I spend $500 on this or $400 on this radio, or how do you say that your $23 Baofeng is a piece of crap, or is it where you like there's somebody in the chat who says I can't get anywhere in the 60 repeaters? And so it'd be really cool to see compared to that website or those types of websites what the results are. So
almost all solutions for line of sight communications is get your antenna higher up.
Yeah,
right.
That's it.
Especially in UHF, which is where GMRS is.
Yeah.
So let me thank Jeff Neely, $50 super chat, buddy. Appreciate that support out there. You keep sending like really fancy moving gifts and whatnot, and it's cool. But if you have any questions, let us know. If you want to say something, please feel free.
It's the Fruit Loops Hippo. That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
So links.io.com is one of the websites I use. By the way, if you get into Arden, you're going to get up all ins that website.
Yes.
Because you just put in your location of the 2 nodes and it'll show you all the earth obstructions in between you. What it doesn't account for is foliage, trees, and that will take out your link really fast.
Radio Mobile accounts for that, I believe, because we've used Radio Mobile for Arden before in the past, and it. I mean, again, it's guesstimating depending on computer information that's fed into the computer, and it's pretty darn accurate, but it's not going to be 100%. But links.io, I'll have to check that. I haven't used that one for Arden though.
It's link. No S. Link.
Link.ui.com.
Okay.
Yeah.
UI.
I just put it in the chat for everyone.
Link.ui.com. Okay, cool.
So the
thanks, Frank.
My house to God, I can't remember where anyway, it's about 45 miles to the closest like major Arden repeater. 45 miles, and I can do it over 5 gigahertz. I get about a 60-75% link, and so the next thing is just get my antenna higher up. That's the next step. So I'm going to throw an extra 10 foot on that. Good to go.
Yeah. Yeah, and the 5 gigahertz links will generally reach out a little bit further than the 2.4 gigahertz links. A lot of the backhaul, a lot of the point-to-point links for the taller towers out here in this area are used with 5 gigahertz radios, and then they hardline 2.4 gigahertz radios further down the tower and use those for closer hops. But the longer links are done with 5 gigahertz, at least in this area.
Yeah.
So Josh's wife is in the chat. Leah, welcome. She says,
Leia.
"Hey Jason, Leia, sorry, Leia. Yeah, so she says nice beard.
It
I need
is.
her. I need to give her. I need
Movember.
to, yeah, that's right.
Nice.
I need to give Leia my wife's number and say text my wife and tell him nice beard.
Leia told
she doesn't
me
like it
when we met. I didn't have a beard. She told me to grow the beard, and that's
really.
It. Yep.
That's a keeper.
Wow.
That's a keeper.
Nice.
She told me to grow the beard.
Very cool.
So.
Very cool.
We got a manly beard channel tonight, minus Kyle, but
yes, minus
we
Kyle.
got it.
Yeah,
and Kat could probably do better in that area too. To be honest,
I mean, I guess I could. I could go get one of them fake beards and probably outdo all of y'all and make sure it's like really, really long.
Kat, I got
a
a
beer
beer
snack.
I gotta admit,
Beer
Kat,
snack.
I didn't notice you there because you weren't eating like usual. So
Eating like usual. Oh, I was eating. You didn't notice.
Oh gosh, there you go.
I was just not gonna say the absent of a blue drink.
Right.
I'm drinking red tonight. I'm drinking a cherry limeade from Sonic. So technically, there is blue on the cup. Does that count?
No.
No.
Kat, you got your staples. You got your things that you're known for.
Well, you know what? I'm known for a lot of things. We won't talk about those.
Good. Yeah. Talk about that crap on your own channel.
Wow.
Yeah.
Which I don't do, so we're good.
Well, if you want to, that's the place to do
I won't.
Welcome to the ZZ Chop channel. W9HJ says.
Yeah.
I might keep going. I might keep going that long. Actually, I don't know yet. I gotta do something about this though, because all my mustache is like pointed straight out this way, and I'm like,
just needs to get longer.
Yeah,
it needs to get longer, and then go get some balm and get it on your skin. Beard balm
you need
supposed
a
to go on your
beard-
skin, not your beard, and then start combing it. You'll train it. It'll start.
No, I've done that before, but I've actually only done that like once or twice in my whole life because I like to change my facial hair more than I like to grow it out and just let it go. My wife's always like, she's like, "What are you doing this week?" I'm like, "I don't know. I just kind of figure it out as I go." But this, I just kind of have let it go this time. So
I think you should grow your mustache out where you have that little French curl. And then
like
on stream you can be like,
yeah, Dick Dastardly type thing.
Coincidentally, the best way to get it to grow is to quit screwing with it.
Yep.
Yeah.
It'll itch for a while and then it'll grow out and it's fine.
I'm past the itching phase already. This part right here is the only part I've shaved in like 2 months or something like that.
Beard oil on your skin will help you during that itching phase so much.
Yeah, beard oil was one of my dad's go-tos. My dad he was growing out his
30
beard.
weight. I run with 30 weight generally.
Whatever works.
I do 5W30 for the wintertime out here, you know,
right.
so
It's
yeah.
a bit thicker.
Run diesel synthetic.
It's a higher viscosity.
Yeah.
You're looking for.
We have these guys fixing part of our warehouse roof at the company, and this guy has his gorgeous, beautiful beard, just bushy, and all the guys are there on the roof, and I yell up to him and said, "Beard oil, eh?" And he goes, 100%. And it's just this gorgeous beard.
So the more important question is, what does your wife think of the beard? Does she like it? Not like it? Because that's the driving factor. Jason, no, yes.
Oh, me.
thumbs
You're
up?
talking to me. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, let me just put it this way, Frank. There's a reason. How do I say that? It's obvious that you don't have a wife.
Oh.
That kind of thing. So
Damn.
actually, the guy who I don't mean that as an insult. I'm just saying, with the beard that you have, it's obvious you don't have someone telling you to shave.
Hey man,
So,
I love just looking like I walked out of forest. People part when I'm in the crowds for me.
So
It's amazing.
That's the smell.
Our trainer we've been going to this gym. My wife and I have been going to this gym for a few months, and the trainer at the gym has this really long, like the pointed beard, right? And I told her the other day, I was like, I think I might try that. And she's like, you're not trying that. I might. I don't know. We'll see. So
my wife likes it because it's softer when it's longer.
Yeah.
Like I got really coarse. I got really like my daughter's hair. Like their hair is like it's like straw. It's like really really thick. Oh, I got a story to tell you. Last night, my youngest daughter, she goes to my older daughter. She goes, Emma, your necklace went down the drain. And so when my daughter was younger, there's this gentleman from maybe Rhea, you would know, but maybe it's a cultural thing, but
Okay, let's hear it. Let's hear it now.
No, I'm serious. He was from Trinidad Tobago, and he says every child should have gold when they're a baby. I don't know if that's a cultural
and
thing,
that is a cult. You know what?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna but you totally profiled me, but that's okay. That's okay. That's okay.
You talk about it all the time on Twitter.
I know.
I know.
I'm saying,
it's not profiling. It's a fact.
Yeah, I'm not. Look. I don't mind. I'm not driving anywhere. The music's not banging. I'm good. So profound's okay. Okay.
Oh my God.
But yeah,
she reflexively just went like this though. When you said that, she just went like this. Like,
I know. I'm just like,
yeah.
How is that profiling?
I'm
kidding. I'm just trying to, But no, seriously, yeah, we do believe in that. I think it's more of an Indian thing because so there are two like kind of cultures in Trinidad and Tobago. There is like the Afro-Trinidadian culture. And then there's the Indo-Trinidadian culture. I grew up in the Indo-Trinidadian culture, obviously, because my foreparents were Indian sugarcane workers, and they were indentures. They were brought there to work on the plantations. So, we grew up kind of different, right? And our tradition is more along the line. Yeah, your kids must have gold on them. They get like little beads of stuff to ward off evil spirits and all sorts of stuff. So yeah, so it's totally true.
So when my daughter was a baby, a gentleman from church who was from Trinidad Tobago, he bought her a necklace. And so my younger daughter, Michaela, she dropped it down the sink drain last night. And so my daughter Emma was mad. It's her baby necklace and all that. So I said, well, Michaela, we're gonna get it out of the drain. And you guys know, all of us know, you open a pee trap, especially when you're on a septic system, it's the nastiest thing you can do. And so I have my daughter in there. I'm like, okay,
smell.
Loosen the two things, and she pulls it off, and it looks like rats coming because my daughters have such thick hair, and it's like pulling rats out, and my daughter's like, she runs out of the bathroom.
Oh wow!
She runs out, and so thick hair runs in my family. So my wife says that a soft beard was longer hair, so she doesn't mind it. But anyways, it was a good time. It was a good time.
All right, Jeff. Once again, dude, thank you for the super chat. You can keep going as long as you want to. I'm not going to complain. But you said you had a question, so please ask your question, Jeff. And
how
let
is
me know.
Tank Radio so awesome? Well, let me answer that.
I'm going to mute.
Like, no.
I'm going to mute you, Frank. But yeah, please ask your question. Let me know what your call sign is, also, Jeff.
But it's $40 for the answer, Jeff. So
right,
ask your question, then $40 for the answer.
He's already paid. He's already done more than that. He says he just wanted to buy some beers because you like beer. Well, that is true. I do like beer.
I like beer.
I like beer.
So I'll give the floor to Rhea for a second here. What do you got going on your channel? You're muted.
Unmuting myself would help first. Okay. So what do I got going on? I got a few product reviews coming up. GMRS, of course. Everybody's doing GMRS. My GMRS video hit 80,000 views. I'm like, wow, okay. And that's kind of awesome. But at the same time, I'm gonna talk about that. I'm gonna do another video like what I did in Florida with the bad advice thing, but it's some good advice with some stuff. And I have a couple other things coming up about this whole discussion in on Discord today. Kind of had give me a good video idea of of what we have in amateur radio. It's not like a a bitch fest or anything like that. It's more of like, how can we constructively do things in amateur radio? So I think people want to see that kind of content. So I'm going to put that on. I also have a lot of mobile power stuff going on. Power and solar and all of that stuff. I'm going to try to squeeze that in. I'm thinking about doing another channel just for my solar stuff, because I do a lot of that. I actually do a lot of that independently of YouTube. Where I do more on Facebook and Twitter and all that stuff. And I do support for one of these companies, EcoFlow. So I'm actually, I'll big into that. So I might do something for that. So other than that, the show with Kat, which she can't tell you what we're doing. I'm just teaching her stuff. So she has to learn that.
Yeah, we talked about that a little bit already.
Yeah, I have the ARRL Hudson Division Awards tomorrow.
Oh, nice.
You know who's going to be there? Your best buddy, David Minster, is going to be there. And
good dude.
Yeah, Joe Taylor is going to be there.
Oh, nice.
Alan Wolk, W2AEW, he's going to be there. He's getting an award.
I know Alan. Yeah.
Dave DeCoons, WO2X, he's going to be there. He's getting an award for his work in Node Red. And my three kids are going to be there. And the whole event, we'll have recordings of some of the speeches and awards and stuff on the Fair Lawn Amateur Radio Club YouTube channel. They're a very active club here. They have a lot of speakers, and I would really love for you guys to give them some love. So look for Fair Lawn ARC on YouTube, please.
What do they do? What kind of videos do they make?
So they have a bunch of guest speakers. They always have like technical presentations. They had Joe Taylor on. They had they have people who do shortwave listening, monitoring, broadcast engineering. They had me on a couple times, but they do a wide variety of amateur radio topics. But it's more like, the club Zoom meeting kind of thing. It's not like the YouTube live stream. So they basically do that.
Yeah.
I saw Joe Taylor speak at the Flex Radio banquet of Hamvention 2019. And I tell you what, anybody who dogs on FT8, go listen to Joe Taylor speak. That dude is tack sharp, and he knows what he's talking about. And you don't want to like FT8, that's okay, but don't think FT8 is a stupid man's version of HF, because that guy knows what he's talking about. So he was saying stuff. I'm like,
Joe,
I'm not following you.
Joe is the one who discovered orbital pulsars. He's a Nobel laureate, so he's a smart. He's a smart guy.
Yeah, he's a smart guy. Yes. He is. He's really fun to listen to as well. So yeah, I was disappointed I wasn't able to go to the Flex banquet for the last 2 years at Hamvention. So I'm really hoping that it happens next year. So because that was a really cool banquet. Good. I figured that you were probably there in 2019. I just didn't know you back then. But that was a cool show.
I remember you from HamCom a few years ago. You didn't know me back then. But actually, I was at HamCom.
You were at HamCom. No, I didn't know you were at HamCom. Okay.
I saw your wonderful presentation on DMR, and that helped me out a lot.
Oh, cool. Well, good. Yeah, I gave that for 4 or 5 years in a row at HamCom.
Nice.
So, yeah, good. Well, cool.
We will cross paths again.
For sure. Orlando, February. Everybody's going to Orlando in February, I hope, because I will be there. It's going to be a fun show.
Yeah, they're dragging me there.
Yeah, they're dragging you there. They're dragging you to the warm, nice climate, huh? Where it rains for 30 minutes every day, but the rest of the time it's great. Awesome. So we have a lot better than February. It'd be a hell of a lot better than Texas in February. I'll put it like that. So good. Ham Radio Adventure Guy, I think that's your first time to join us, man. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing great, man. It's a pleasure to be here. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Got a lot of parks on the air going on my channel.
I saw that.
Working a few personal goals. I'm got 4 parks left in the state, and I'll have all the parks in West Virginia wiped out.
I was about to ask what state you were in. West Virginia, okay.
And that should be done in the next probably 2 weeks. Then I'm working on the N1CC Joseph V3. He got me hooked on that when he came on my stream. He's like, yeah, I got that done in my first year. And I was like, oh, okay, I can do that. So I've been working on that for the last 3 weeks, and I've almost got that one done. So, and good. I just passed my extra last Saturday.
Oh, congrats.
Oh, congrats.
Awesome. That's awesome. Good. Yeah. Good. Yeah, I gotta get on that. I gotta just time, man. it's all about time. So
I did most of my studying on an app, but I also tried some sleep hypnosis stuff.
Really?
I actually would put on your channel and play the extra thing while I was sleeping, hoping that some of it would sink in.
Did that work?
Okay.
Well,
he passed, so yes.
I studied for 3 days and passed the test. So.
Yeah. I'm gonna say it worked because he passed the test. So yes.
That is not how this works. That is not how any of this works. This is not science.
He told me that he told me that he also woke up the next morning and said the world is so tall.
I don't know.
Whoa.
I don't know.
Wow.
I don't know. On that episode of Friends where Chandler was listening to that lady that was quitting smoking, he turned into a woman. So I'm kind of thinking hypnosis does work, but that's been my only experience with it. So I don't know.
If it was, we'd all be using it. It would be scientifically studied, and there'd be papers on its applicable use. Otherwise, it's not.
Well, you said you studied for the test for 3 days, having never studied any of it before.
Right after my general, I studied like the first section of it, and other than that, no.
Huh. That's pretty badass, man.
Science.
3.5 days. I started Wednesday night and tested on Saturday night. So
I thought I was doing good at 10 days to pass the extra. You did it at 3, so congrats to you on that one.
2 months.
I would say I've been looking at my advanced tests. I haven't really been feeling the need to do the advanced in Canada, but I would say that a lot of the stuff that I've taken in over the last year with people doing projects and with YouTube has really sort of started to fill in some of the spots, like some of the blanks when you start looking at because on the Canadian government website, they have the question, the right there on their website you can look at. And I find that already it's kind of like, oh crap, I know 60% of it. It's like when before I wrote my test, before I even became a ham, I was subscribed to Josh, to Jason, and a couple of other the different ham YouTubers. And when I started to actually study, it was like, oh crap, I already know this. And so it's funny how we don't realize how much we're actually taking in that is very, very important pieces of the pie.
Checks in the mail, Molson. Good job.
No, but
all the talking.
I'm dead serious. You know what's funny is there's a message. There's a message on Jason's Jason's Discord that says, Jason, do you remember this? One of the last public or messages. Sorry, guys, I'm drinking. It says, it says, please include your call sign. Do you remember that message that went out there?
Yeah.
That came out like maybe a month after I wrote, and I thought it was directed at me. I was like, oh crap, but I don't have a call sign. Does that mean I'm not invited? And so no, guys, come on, seriously. But it goes to show you that before I even became licensed, I was in the community. And then when you start to study for your test, you realize, oh crap, I'm watching this guy. I've been thinking he's crazy, and I've been taking it in. So it's kind of like, who knows? I haven't looked at the extra exam in the States, but if you're in the YouTube community, like for ham radio enough, you're actually learning a lot more than what you realize. That goes to further your knowledge, right? And maybe that helped get it done in 3.5 days. Who knows?
What are the testing levels in Canada, Molson?
You have basic with honors. So if you get over 80%, you get full frequency privileges. Your limitation is 2 things: your power. You're limited at 250 PEP, and you're limited at you're not able to build your own transmitter. And then you have advanced. So basic is like your technician. Basic with honors is full frequency privileges, 250 watt max, no building your own transmitter. You have advanced, which is like your extra. And then there's also a CW, which is 5 words per minute, which gives you frequency privileges. So it's kind of like getting your basic with honors, but with using basic with CW. So from what I understand, I haven't done the CW test. So I have basic with honors, and the problem is, I find to some degree, is to justify going to advance. It's like, do you want more power than 250, and you want to build your own transmitter? Those are the two questions you have to ask. And,
So is advanced the top license?
Yeah.
And you're limited to 250 watts?
No, you're up to like 1500 PEP.
1500. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's what we are too.
Yeah.
But okay. Good.
Yeah.
Cool. Somebody else said something a minute ago. I was going to ask you to clarify.
I got a question too, though.
Go ahead, Bria.
I thought in Canada the SSB power limit was 2250 watts on SSB with 1 kilowatt CW.
Yeah, so the way that they describe it is 1500 PEP 2250 single sideband. And actually, I asked the local ham, can you elaborate on that for me, because it's a little. And so he's like, oh, it's just we consider PEP. So that's even a question that I haven't had clarified myself. If you look at the actual answer and the license, it gives you both answers: 1500 PEP 2250 single sideband. So. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I guess it's clear as mud.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I asked for the answer myself from one of my local Elmers. He's been like licensed for like 35, 40 years. And he was just, and I think a lot of those things, once you get your license, listen, there's a lot of stuff that I learned when I got my license. It's kind of like, okay, that's cute. And then you move on. Right. And it's a reality. You don't retain everything.
Yeah, one thing I'd like to say, I know everybody got it already. I'd like to say thank you to all veterans, especially my brother and my uncle. My brother is actually active duty Navy right now in the Medical Service Corps. And he recently moved to Groton, Connecticut. So he's a lot closer now. And we could spend a lot more time with him. And also my my uncle, who's retired Air Force, he was at Tyndall and Beale. And he also, unfortunately, my aunt, who was his wife, died a couple of weeks ago. So, that's really sad. But, I was glad to spend some time with her before she completely passed, and also with him. So it was really nice.
Good old Rotten Groton.
Yep. That's right.
4 years there.
Nice.
I was going to say a minute ago that Josh was talking about something. And I don't remember what you were saying, dude.
I talk about a lot.
But
of
I'm like, Josh and I have been trading screenshots of every time someone comments on my video and I get called Josh, and comments on his video and he gets called Jason. Yeah. And that just it's like curses of the J's, I guess. So nobody named Jeremy start a YouTube channel. Just don't do it. So I just
unless you want some free feedback that you can.
Yeah. Because I got thanked for my what was that?
It was your veteran video where it
was the veteran video. Josh, good job. I'm like,
no problem.
I'll forward this to Josh. Thank you.
And you just give me the Ham Nation comments that you get in person.
Yeah. Somebody came up to me in Huntsville Handfest and said, "Hey, can I ask you something?" I said, "Sure." He goes, "When you're running Ham Nation," and I'm like, "What day is this?" So I tested Josh, and I'm like, "I just got accused of running Ham Nation."
Somebody posted on the Facebook page for Ham Nation today. They were like, I liked Ham Nation before it changed. And I was like, me too. And then the guy I guess got pissed off at me because then he hopped on the video and he was like, I liked it when George was still on the show. And I'm like, I do as well. Good thing he's on YouTube. You can go subscribe to him right now if that's what you want. It exists. Go for it, my dude. I didn't stop George.
That's funny. No.
So Jason, I just went back into your Discord. It was I'm always confused with this because French and English do the dates different. It's 0302 2019. And if you don't mind, please change your nickname to your call sign. You aren't required to, but it'll help everyone to get to know each other.
Right.
So help everybody find.
So that literally came out
crazy.
That literally, you literally put that message out maybe 2 weeks after I joined your Discord, and I was like,
okay.
Oh,
well, you must have joined early on then, because I created the Discord in 2019. Yes, I created this Discord in 2019, and I did some updates to it a month or two after I created it, and that was one of the updates I did. So, in fact, the way I found Josh the first time was I was on Patreon, and they were doing a Patreon users webinar thing, and they said you should get Discord because we interface with Discord and you can create private channels and blah blah blah. And at the time I was using Slack, and quite frankly, I think Slack is more business based and
Yeah.
a little bit more professional, and Discord's more like kids and toys type stuff. But Discord is Discord's
not
no,
kids
I
and
no,
toys.
it is, but
it's built towards gaming and all, but
right, but it's
we
more
utilize
powerful
it.
also. It's more
Yes.
powerful also. So so anyway, I was like, okay, fine, I'll move from Slack and I'll create a Discord server, and I did that, and I had a bunch of people join my Discord and like, hey, good to see you out here, man. He goes, are you on Josh's Discord? And I'm like, nope. So I went and joined his Discord, and then I think that was shortly before Hamvention of 2019 where we met face to face the first time.
I'm
but
in
that was
trouble.
somewhere in there.
I'm in trouble.
so-
The wife just showed up in the chat.
Uh-oh.
Yep, she's in
So
there.
Better
does-
than showing up in the chat.
The wife has entered the chat.
Yeah, Amy.
Is that Amy? Okay,
Yes.
I was guessing that was her.
So Jason,
Yep,
does that
she
does
found
that-
me.
guys? Does that mean that really the last 2 years have been really where the community has evolved and grown?
Yeah, we kind of started this whole YouTubers bunch thing. Basically, it was after Hamvention, but the first time we all really met, the first time I ever met Josh and Mike and Sterling, and I think Kyle face to face,
And Chuck.
and I don't remember if we met Chuck. Were you there? I don't remember if you were there or not.
I wasn't doing videos.
But
So I didn't count.
the first time I met most of these guys face to face was in Hamvention 2019, and it was shortly after that I sent an email out to all of them, and I'm like, "Hey guys, I'd like to get y'all into my channel just to do a collab video." And they're like, "Okay, cool." And I've told this story before, and we all got together. We're like 8 of us there, and we did this recording together. And we said, "Hey, we're just going to talk about ham radio here." And at the end of that recording, this was a recorded thing, not a live stream. At the end of that recording, I was like, "Thanks for coming on. If y'all ever want to do this again," and all of them were like, "Oh, let's do this. Let's do this all the time. Let's do it again and again." So, like for a year and a half, we did one every month. And then kind of when COVID started and all the channels started to really explode, we just got real busy with that. We need to do another one of those. We've done one this year so far, maybe 2.
Well, then you
No.
have a second tier of that where you're inviting not lesser channels. I misspoke. Smaller channels into
You were right the first time. If you're talking about yourself, Frank, lesser channel.
But lesser channels referring to me, but not anyone else. I wasn't trying to put
I
down
know what
anyone
you're.
else.
I know what you're saying. I know
Smaller
what you're saying.
channels.
Yeah.
That was a
Yeah.
very big
Newer-
boost for me.
newer
And also
channels.
exposing the community to other amateur
Right.
radio channels. And,
Mhm.
there's a million different takes of anything you could do amateur radio. And there might be someone else trying to do a different take that you're not aware of. And that
Right.
will help get you exposure.
And you know what? It was really Jason who gave me the push toward 1K. I mean, I was relatively unknown in the YouTube world, and Jason really helped that take off. So I'm really glad. I'm really glad for the exposure. And I think what you're doing for these smaller,
newer channels,
up and coming channels is great. You know,
Lesser only the tank radio.
I really think that contrary to what you might hear on QRZ, I really think that
here we go.
No. This I'm not going to bitch or anything. I really think that knowledge
Go ahead,
sharing.
finish your point.
Okay, you can if you want to. I mean, it's not your channel. What the hell do you care? So it's he knows I'm right. To see him laughing on mute right now, he knows I'm right. So it's knowledge sharing is really what it is. Now, you may not agree with something someone else says. You may, if I get on my channel and I'm not even talking about controversy. I'm talking about if I get on my channel, I make a video and I says, "Hey, DMR is my favorite digital mode, and here's why." And I list out all these options. Well, you may not agree with that. You say, "I like D-Star better. I like Fusion better. I like this. I don't like digital modes at all. I like All-Star." Okay, fine. But at least it's knowledge sharing. And it's like, I like DMR better, and here's why. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points. You can agree with me, or you cannot agree with me, but maybe you'll learn something about DMR either way. So I kind of look at it as like, and I've said this before in some videos in the past. People say that YouTube is saturated these days. Well, there's too many YouTube channels. There's too much this. There's too much that. And I'm like, let me ask you something. Do people not write books anymore? Go to the library or to Barnes & Nobles, or heaven forbid, go to Amazon.com and look at all the book sections and look at the number of books that were written this year in 2020. They've been writing books for hundreds of years. And go look at all the books that were written this year. There's hundreds of authors writing thousands of books every year. And it's still a thing. People are writing books all the time, new books. And I'm like, there's no shortage of, YouTube is not saturated. It's not even close to being saturated. There's a lot of knowledge and information sharing out there that could be there and I have learned a lot by watching other YouTube channels that are sometimes bigger, but most of the time smaller than mine. And I'm like, man, that's a really good idea. Rio, you were talking about solar stuff. I've got several solar projects I'm working on right now as well. So I just like the knowledge sharing part of it. I really think that overall the ham radio community is a helpful and friendly community, outside of QRZ. But I think that for the most part, if you're on the internet, if you're promoting ham radio on the internet, then you're usually willing and able to help someone out and share your knowledge of whatever facet in ham radio you're helping. And I think that promoting people who do that, because I do it, but I'm not the only one out there doing it. And I'm probably not even the best one out there doing it. So there's a lot of other people who are doing it besides me. And I want to get their information out there so that other people who are out there in the audience can learn more about ham radio. That's always been my goal. People say, well, you just do YouTube for the money. Let me tell you something. And I've said this 100 times and I'll say it again. Anybody who wants to make a lot of money on YouTube or get famous on YouTube is going to probably do a channel about Android phones or cat videos. Okay, they're not going to do a channel about ham radio.
Cats playing with Android.
Or cats playing with Android.
A channel like that.
Yeah, I mean, because seriously, nobody knows what ham radio is. Okay, I mean, so if you're sticking to a ham radio channel, you're not doing it because you want to be famous on the internet. So I'll just leave it there.
And I'll add to that, Jason. One of the things, so this is kind of like, I have to be careful how I talk about this here. When we were looking for a new CEO last year at the ARRL, one of the things that impressed me about David Minster was when he walked into the room of directors interviewing him, he was, one of the first things he said, I want to move ARRL from a book mindset into a video mindset.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking to myself, oh my censored God,
this guy either just won the election or shot himself in the foot.
This guy is gonna alienate himself, and I use the nice words, with half of our membership, because I got complaints about how I heard ARRL is not going to publish books anymore. And I'm like, no, that's not true. I said, however, the world today is video, and we are going to be concentrating more on video content. And, I'm not going to bash the last guy, but I think that, the direction David has taken with the YouTubers, especially, is really nice. And it's one of the reasons why I personally, and I'm not just, tooting my own horn here. I'm saying one of the reasons why I personally went to bat for him to see if, we could get support for him. And I'm glad it's paying off. I'm really glad the engagement we're getting. The handbook stuff is coming up next week. So that's pretty good.
But what's interesting is most questions in the amateur radio world that are the most difficult to get your license actually are not exclusive to ham radio. For instance, like PNP versus NPN, or resistance in series versus parallel. And so those were the questions that I wanted to refine when I did my, 2 years ago when I got my license, whatever. Those were the ones where it's easy. Region 2, UTC, or like those stuff, that's all easy stuff. Well, when you start looking at resistance in series versus parallel, that's electrical engineering. And so that's very easy to do. Series versus parallel, YouTube search, you're talking channels that have nothing to do with ham radio YouTube. And so there were 4 channels, I would say, that when I started to ask certain particular questions that came up, it was Whiskey 6 Lima Golf, which I still have a lot of respect for that guy. He helped me out get my license. Jason, Josh, and KB9 VBR, is that it? The guy who does the POTA with the rat tail there.
Yeah.
Those are my four first YouTube channels I subscribe to, and it's those more technical questions that are not necessarily ham radio related, that actually, because really at the end of the day, we all have heard of somewhat of short radio, shortwave radio. You read the old World War you know, like when I was younger, I read a lot of World War II books. You know, you hear about different things with radio, you know, Voice of America. It didn't even register as ham radio. It didn't at all.
Yeah.
And then it started to progress. And then I saw this sign of at the local, you know, St. John's Ambulance, you know, like ham radio meeting Monday night, 7:00. And then it just kind of progressed. Right. And so there was this absolute disconnect from associating radio communications with ham radio. And so I started to research myself further and further. And actually just sort of, because you don't, for most people, for me, it never was defined as ham radio ever until I started to get into the YouTube ham radio, where I started asking questions and saying it, because it was always amateur radio, which was a different level. And so like, and that's how we've all marketed ourselves as ham radio. But there's a point where you transition from realizing that I don't even know how to describe it, but transitioning and realizing that it's ham radio on it's a different marketing level. If that makes sense to you. And so it was very foreign, this whole, I don't know, contesting, this POTA, all that stuff was very, very foreign. You know, Y2K, my mom bought a shortwave radio and I was in the basement. I was freaked out. You know, my mom's like, Y2K, and we're in the basement and I'm listening with it, connected to this antenna.
Foil firmly planted on the dome.
No, but seriously.
Listening to Art Bell. Art Bell is going to tell us about what's going on out
These
here.
are the struggles of 1999 stroke 2000, right? But that is real. Like we look back now and we laugh at it, right?
Got to stock up on silver, my dude.
But you have to realize that you have to realize that 1998 we had this massive ice storm that knocked out all electricity, all communications for a month in Canada, in Eastern Ontario, in Quebec. I was in Quebec then. And so go from 1998 to 2000 when Y2K, all communications is going to die. Everything's going to, my mom bought a shortwave radio and some North Face sleeping bags, you know, good to minus 30, right?
North Face.
So
that's awesome.
So like here I am at 2000. How old was I? I don't know. I was born in 84, 16, 17 years old. And I'm listening to the shortwave radio, hoping I hear Australia and China, right? I have no clue what I'm talking about. But you're listening to and the only thing you can receive is these gospel stations, right? Really, that's really that's what it is.
That's what shortwave is.
But
brother stare.
But I'll be honest with you, that was the seed that opened me up to radio communications on a global level. It really was. So when I'm driving down our main street in town one night on a Tuesday or Monday night, and there's this sign that says, you know, radio club meeting. I was like, shit, I want to check out what that is. And it's funny how these circumstances or these coincidences, most people come to ham radio, I would say personally, from my own experience, with no understanding what the hell ham radio is. It's, you know, like, and it's either overlanding or if it's CB radio, we come from another thing, and ham is this thing we eat. That's amazing when it's cut in strips and it's called bacon. That's it, right? And it's reality, you know, like, and so for
I had a guy who legit on one of my I don't remember which video this was. I think it was one of my Deer Lease videos. It was just like a couple of weeks ago. And he was serious, or at least he acted like it was, and I answered him seriously. And he's like, okay, serious question here. Why do I need to know what a transistor and a diode and a switch and a single throw, single pole switch? Why do I need to know all this stuff if all I'm going to use ham radio for is to talk to my wife in a bug out situation? And I said, well, first of all, you're looking at it from one point of view. I was like, the prepper point of view is not a bad point of view to look at it from this day and age, but you got to remember there's 120 years of radio sport history behind, and radio electronic radio art history behind what you're doing here. So ham radio can be a very, very valuable prepper tool, yes, but it's much, 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 much more than that. I was like, so you need to look at it from the umbrella big picture instead of that's what you want to use it for. Nothing wrong with that, but you have to get into it because you have to understand what it is from its onset, from its day one, from what it used to be, what it's evolved into today, and the many, many different facets you can use it as.
I have
today.
another
Go ahead.
counterpoint.
Go ahead, Frank.
I had a prepper friend, same thing. Why do I need to get the license where I could just buy the radio, put it in my pack, and use it when I need it? I said,
oh,
cool.
I got it. I got an answer
got a
for
great
that.
answer
Yeah,
for that
so-
I
one.
got an Craig. You and I have the same answer, I bet.
So I said, cool.
Probably.
The F just hit the fan. There is no power anywhere. You
Mhm.
need to get on this repeater to find help and current information. And I
Mhm.
put the bow thing into, because that's what I had at the time,
Right.
VFO mode with none of the channels programmed into it. I said,
Mhm.
hit the local repeater and you'll find help immediately. He goes, and started fumbling with it.
Do
So I
you
said-
go? Do you go to gunbroker.com or budsgunshop.com? That's the best one, by the way. Budsgunshop.com. Do you go buy a pistol, get it shipped to you, and say, "Hey, that's pretty," put it in your drawer and leave it
Yeah.
until someone
Well-
breaks into your house?
Wait,
Well,
but
then
Jason,
I
you
took
know
it
they-
to
another level.
Too many people do that.
If it's
yeah,
a high
I
point,
know,
yeah.
I know, but it's not
100%.
a smart thing to do.
No, but
that's my point.
We know people do that. I mean, I made a
Yes.
video on this exact, like literally the title,
Right,
like,
right.
that exact thing, because, and I've made the argument before. People got mad at me. I could probably teach someone to fire a gun semi-competently faster than I can teach somebody to
Absolutely,
program a radio
absolutely,
to get on a
especially,
repeater.
especially a Bowfang. Yes,
Not like
yes,
not
Much
like
less
the best
moving parts.
self-defense
Right,
gun
right,
handling. I'm
right.
saying like handle a gun like the
Yes.
you know the appropriate rules for pointing the gun down range, all that stuff that you're supposed to learn, right?
Yes.
I can
Alec
teach you
Baldwin.
that faster than I can teach you to program
Yes,
a Bowfang. I bet.
absolutely,
I bet
absolutely.
I could do
There's
that.
many
and
levels
explain
to this.
why and explain
I have-
why.
And I
Yeah.
can't tell you the number of people I said that exact phrase to at their Overlanding Expo last October.
I have
And these
three
guys,
levels to this.
these guys are all boondocking,
Yeah.
overlanding,
The
outdoorsy type
exact people who
dudes.
need ham
I mean,
radio.
exactly. Yes, and they know that. They know that. If you
Yes.
talk to them about it, they know that. They're like, "Well, but in an emergency," I'm like, "Do you just fire your gun in an emergency and leave it in the drawer the rest of the time?" They're like,
I do
"No,
what Joe
man."
Biden
I'm like,
says. I fire 2 rounds off my balcony.
Fire
from
two
my-
blasts outside the
Scares
We
them
don't
away
do-
every time.
Hey,
There was
on this channel, we do nothing what Joe Biden says. I'm just gonna,
It'd be
Not
banned if you
I'm in
did.
I'm not gonna
California.
elaborate.
I,
I'm not
I'm
gonna-
in California. I take my
That's
side
not-
by
that's-
side, my
that's
Coach
not
gun,
my
and
fault.
I just start blasting it off, to
Let's
prevent
get
anything from
Brandon.
happening.
There
I'm
there
kidding.
actually
I'm
was
kidding.
a
I don't do
no,
that.
Oh,
actually
shit.
was a guy that got busted
I
for
can't
doing that
believe
very
that
thing
said-
and tried claiming.
Oh, hey,
Biden
okay.
told me to.
Yeah. Hold on. Cliff is in the chat. Urban Prepper, what's up, buddy? Thanks for joining us tonight.
But there's
Cliff from the
multiple
Urban
levels.
Prepper's in the chat.
There's multi levels for what I was saying. So first is you have a radio, you don't know how to use it, or you took enough time to write down local repeater frequencies. How do you still program that radio?
I love
Right.
You
Frank.
didn't know.
I love
And
this
then
hot
the
take, Frank. Like the clapbacks you got going on. This is good, man. This
The
is
last
good.
point is you
Yeah.
took the time to program your radio ahead of time. So I turn it back to channel mode. I say hit one person, get one person to
Right.
respond, because if you're not in the community and it's a
Mhm.
actual F hit the fan situation, if
Right.
we don't know you, why would we respond to your request for help? It is building those relationships
Well,
inside the local community
it-
where we know who you are, and also
Mhm.
using your equipment. If you have a IC7300, one of the best radios on the market right now, just in your closet, and you don't know how to use it, and when the time comes to use it, you're just fumbling in the field somewhere trying to set it up. That equipment, the money you put into that equipment is useless. In my
Well,
opinion.
This is
That's-
the most passionate. Like that was spot on, Frank. That was beautiful. Nicely done. You know what the
Frank's
best
act-
test is? The
yeah.
best test is you take their Baofeng and you hit reset all and you hand it back to him when it's speaking Chinese.
Yeah.
I can do
so
it.
for all
I
for
can
all
do
the-
it. I've been there.
for all the hell I give Frank, he is actually very passionate
That
and
was
very
great,
correct
Frank.
about
That
this
was
stuff.
great.
Yeah, yeah,
100%.
yeah.
Well, I was
yeah.
thinking
When my
I was
when my Baofeng speaks Chinese, I just give it to my wife. She'll translate for me.
That's it. Honey, same thing. Same thing. Here you go. This is
I was gonna say, is your wife Chinese, Craig?
She's from Taipei.
That's right. I knew that.
Oh,
I
she's
knew that. I
Taiwanese.
knew
She's from-
that. I
she's
knew
from
that.
somebody
Taipei.
set this thing to
Yeah.
Leia.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah. So let me set this thing. Does Leia speak Mandarin or Cantonese? Does she speak fluent?
Both. Well,
She speaks fluently.
well, I
Like
don't
a-
know. She can answer you in the chat. I'll let her answer.
Let
I'm
her
not going to
answer.
jump on that one. But she
Yeah.
speaks
My wife does.
Vietnamese and Cantonese and Mandarin.
there's like a
Mine
billion
is
dialects. man.
Taiwanese and
Yeah.
Mandarin.
But that's Frank. That's
Yeah.
what I was thinking. It was like, oh my goodness, grid down situation. Open up your computer and open the chirp.
The
It's
reason
like,
for the
like
license,
it's not gonna work when you're
Yeah.
friggin' grid down system. If you're really concerned about grid down, it's not when shit hits the fan.
Wait,
it's
so
before
here's-
shit hits the fan.
Here's my best argument for this. It's like, oh, grid down. I'll just go on the YouTube and find out how to.
That's like that's like the people that used to call into IT support and they're like, "Hey, so I just bought this new computer and I downloaded the internet to my hard drive.
Right.
What do I do now?" And I'm like, "You did what?" I downloaded the internet to my hard drive. I'm like, "Really?" I'm like,
Got
"You
all
have
the-
like
the whole thing.
you have like 150,000 petabyte hard drive in that computer? That is awesome, dude! Wow."
8 gigs of
Did
RAM
you just
too.
call me a pedo?
Yeah,
That's
I
like-
did.
Whoa,
Yeah.
whoa. So
but
Rhea-
seriously, if like seriously, for everybody watching this, by the way, the people that come back around and they may be preppers, like actually just download some of this stuff. Like you can actually write a little note to yourself on how to program a Baofeng and then save it onto something, or hell, print it. Oh my god,
Print it, yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I mean,
Hey, the tech prepper, he prints and laminates everything.
amazing.
So yeah, it's a great idea.
Yeah, if you do put a Baofeng on a shelf and you really hit a time where you need it for that particular whatever event you have in your head, you're not going to YouTube. You're not going on the internet. So have that all printed out or on a USB stick or something like that to back it up. But best case, build the mental muscle memory you need to actually use that thing
Well,
when you need it.
the final point of mine is also building up the relationships. If it's really that dire, and I have resources to spare, I'm not going to spare it to Rando on the repeater 23. I am going to give it to Joe down the street that I've been knowing and talking to the last couple of years, who says, "Hey man, I need some water because I don't have any." I'm more willing to walk down to his place and versus my next door neighbor.
I used to own a website called doomsdayprepperforums.com. It's still out there. But it amazed me how many people on there from all these different countries that refused to get the license. Like, nope. They all had that same mentality of, I'm not going to learn it. I'm going to wait.
Your name
and
goes
wait
on a
and wait.
list. It's like, dog, do you drive a car?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Vote.
Right.
And
And Josh,
that way. Who cares?
yeah, Josh has a really good video out there about the Fourth Amendment, giving up your Fourth Amendment rights if you get your ham radio license. And it's like, dude, go read the freaking FCC laws,
Yeah,
because
it's
it
not
says that anybody who has a ham radio license or gets on CB or gets on FRS or gets on any type of radio frequency,
Or you got
that's
Wi-Fi.
illegal, or you got Wi-Fi,
damn Wi-Fi in
anything,
your house.
anything. It's like, you are subject to this stipulation. Doesn't mean they can come knock on your door and come in without a warrant.
They can't be
That's not what it
armed and
means.
shoot dogs and stuff like that.
Right,
That's not, they're going to ask you. They're going to ask.
Right. But they don't have any more control over me with a ham radio license than the guy next door who's running, 150 watt CB radio. In fact, they're probably going to get him before they get me. So, it's
Who said Rhea? Somebody said
what, Rhea?
Somebody said Rhea like a few minutes ago.
I did, but I'll come back. I'll come back to that because I have a question for you.
No, take the floor right now. Go ahead.
We're on this topic. I want to ask a question.
He's
around.
got many things to say. He's literally mentally queuing up all the points he's working on right now.
I gotta say, I bought this bottle tonight. This Row Co.
Oh my
Row
goodness,
and
you
Co.
bought that
is-
tonight?
Yeah, it's a great whiskey. So here's the question.
Soup
So
of the
for
day,
instance,
whiskey.
and any parent here who would understand that there are friends and then there's friends you would trust your kids with, right? So on the same lines, like Frank was saying, shit hits the fan. You got friends, and then there's people who come on the repeater when shit hits the fan and says, "Hey, I need help." If you understand what I'm saying, how do you filter out who you're talking to?
You
Let's
didn't say 73 OM.
No.
Right.
No. But so let's be honest. So it's no secret. I got I don't know. I got 1,100 pounds of beef in my fridge from the cows I just processed. Shit hits a fan. People are hungry.
I'm good on QSN,
Right?
by the way.
So-
I'm good
so-
on QSN.
No. But here, seriously, let's put ourselves into the world's dying zombie apocalypse. Everybody,
There we go.
Prep. No. I'm serious, because if we're gonna come from there are people who come into the hobby from the prepper side, right? I live in the country, so I naturally have beef. I'm not a prepper. I have beef in my fridge. I love 100 pounds. That's typically in a prepper world is something you keep secret. So one day shit hits the fan. Somebody comes on the radio, says, I need help. How do you filter out those people? If there's somebody who, like Frank said, you never heard them before, how do you assess? Because at the same time, while we're guarding ourselves, right? We want to protect ourselves and our family. We, as most humans, not all humans, but most humans have a compassionate heart. So how do we draw that line and filter out between a genuine call for assistance in an emergency situation and somebody who is evil? Like, how, if tomorrow internet's out, energy's out, everything's out, and shit hits the fan, and all of a sudden some voice that you never heard before says, help me.
There's
I got
4
that
levels.
answer.
There's
How do
4
you
levels.
assess
who it
that?
is?
I got your answer.
There's self, there's family, there's
Yeah.
friends, and then there's others.
But there's
It's
also
that
a
order.
good human mindset of you give until it hurts, right? And so that they're everybody's going to find their own balance of this, but generally when you talk to somebody on the radio, again, you're going to be able to draw some things out, and maybe it's not completely authentic, particularly in a disaster situation. All bets are off, but at the end of the day, you're the person that is the arbiter of that decision making, right?
I wouldn't trust anyone, and I would keep them on the radio long enough to direction find them and kind of scope out their situation. I'm serious.
No, that's not a bad idea.
Scope out their
That's not a bad
situation.
idea.
Maybe like think of like The Walking Dead, where there's so many people like, oh, I need help, and then it's an ambush.
Yeah, but they never have radios on The Walking Dead. They never have
but they do have a screening process.
Sometimes they do.
They
Sometimes
do have a
got
screening
radios,
process.
but
In
still.
season 10, I think
can
they finally
DF
got a ham
them.
radio.
And you can scope out from a distance, you know, like what's really going on? Is it really are they a bunch of like Negans who are out to take you over, or you know, I wouldn't trust anyone.
And the simple
Very
fact
cautious.
is that if you prepare and your neighbor doesn't prepare, you don't owe your neighbor something.
Nah.
Do you feel a moral obligation to help him? Yeah, probably so. Sure. Should you help him? Yeah, if you feel like you should, then good. But you don't. There's a difference between wanting to help people and owing people something. You don't owe them anything.
Correct.
I don't owe my neighbor anything. My neighbor doesn't owe me anything. So it works both ways. So
It's
if I have
that relationship, so when you get to that point,
it is.
So
yeah.
I need help, Jason. I know that you're literally 3 miles that way. I know I can go to you for help.
A long time ago.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, well, I
That
view
too.
it from a little different angle. One of them is that when shit hits the fan, I'm going to be mostly in the listening mode. I'm not going to be transmitting in OPSEC. Okay, I learned.
Yep.
I learned a lot of things, and one of the things is I'm going to lay low. However, there are going to be people who are going to come and say, "Holy shit, this house has stuff." But do you just shoot them, or do you?
Yes,
that's exactly what you do.
Yes.
Well, in some cases you might have to, but if
We're
it's
going
people
there.
you know-
We're going there in the live stream. Here we go.
In New Jersey, probably yes. In Texas, probably no.
Well, I was thinking
I'm
the
just-
opposite, but anyway.
okay, that's fine.
But
That's
no,
fine.
but
You
yeah.
got me there. Yeah.
Here's the thing,
Fire
I was-
2 rounds off your balcony.
Off your balcony. Yeah.
I was watching this video by City Prepper, and he made a very good point. He said you want to keep something, something small that you could give to people who come to your door. This way, they wouldn't come and try to forcibly take your stuff. You give them something small, so they feel that you're benevolent, and you build that trust. And then
they'll come
you're
back.
able to keep them away. But if they come back, you might have to just, shut the door, lock the door, and cock the gun.
You give them a QSL card and start talking about ham radio, they'll be gone in a second.
That's right.
If I may.
Yeah.
If I
For
may.
me-
Keep a couple of Bibles in there. Start talking to them about God.
Yeah, Mormonism.
Do the reverse
Yeah.
porch maneuver. They call that the reverse porch maneuver. The thing to
OPSEC
keep
starts now for me.
the thing to
OPSEC
keep in
already
mind-
started.
The thing to keep in mind is like we're talking about literally the lowest, like
Yes.
worst possible
Yes.
human situation.
Right.
The reality is if it's another bad winter in Texas,
Right.
I'm assuming all the Texans will be arm in arm helping out each other because I know they did that.
Yeah.
I know my a good friend of mine who I believe had cancer at the time, was going like door to door to like help out neighbors and friends and bring food. So we got to put, just for everybody watching this, we're not going down this crazy rabbit hole. We just went to the deepest, darkest spot in the rabbit hole.
Well, and a lot of, and yes, and a lot of the time,
there.
right.
Preppers
And
go there all the
if,
time. To
yes,
plan.
we all, before we fall asleep at night, we all
Yes.
think about like, oh boy, if this happens and then this happens, and then we wake up, it's 2 hours later and we finally fall asleep. But keep in mind, like, to go back to Molson's point, if Molson was in a Texas snow level equivalent where the grid was down and all that stuff, he probably would take some of his beef and help his friends and neighbors and all that.
My
It's
cupboards
all
were open.
It's
at
all
that
a
point.
spectrum of the situation you find yourself in, and you have to be able to judge appropriately for what you use your resources for.
Well, you have to remember that a lot of the stuff we read is like The Walking Dead is fiction.
Well, because that's how you energize people.
What
that's
do they
how you energize people to think about
but
stuff,
that's
is
but
go
you
to the
don't
worst case
you don't create a drama series, a book or a TV show or whatever by being nice to people. Okay,
Right.
that's not how you create a drama series. Okay, so you create a drama series, all of the stuff that could happen. So now our minds are set. We're like, oh crap, my neighbors are all going to come eat my brain if the power goes out tomorrow. Well, in reality, yeah,
the Wi-Fi was down for 2 hours. They're eating my brain.
Oh my God, So what I told my wife after this Texas winter storm, this last Texas winter storm in February, we were stuck in we were in Galveston for a whole month. It lasted like 3 or 4 days. We were down there, so we weren't in our home.
Yeah.
But my parents, the power was out for like 6 hours in my home, and it was out for like a day and a half in my parents' home. They live 2 miles away. They came and stayed in our home because we had heat here. But what I told my wife is, like, the next time that happens, the next time the power goes out and the entire neighborhood's dark, I want my lights to be on because I'm going to have a battery bank and solar power. And I'm working on that. You're going to see some videos on that upcoming. It's a lot of money to do it the right way. But I don't mind at that point in time. I don't mind my neighbors coming and knocking on the door saying, dude, we got 2 kids. How do you guys have power? And I'm like, come on in. I got an extra bedroom.
Let me show you LED lights.
Right. Yeah. But, because my entire neighborhood was without power for like 8 hours during that time. And it's like, and the grid in my neighborhood sucks anyway. Every time there's a really bad thunderstorm comes through, the power goes out in my neighborhood for an hour or two. So the next time that happens, I just want to go and turn on all my lights, and everybody's like, what is that guy doing? So I was like, let me tell you about ham radio. Come inside. Inside.
Well,
let me teach you about ham radio.
To also compliment your point there, 46 hours I was out power.
Yeah.
I was out power without a CPAP machine. If you don't know what that is, I cannot sleep anymore without this electrically powered machine.
Now you've got a cure for that, Frank.
Yeah. But I was at my neighbor's house. There were 4 of us in our neighbor's house, and we were all open up our pantries, our fridges that were our power. What do we have all to cook? We were all together. We were sharing everything that we had. I brought all my eggs. I bought my meat. I bought everything over. There was not even a mention of guns. Those were so far out of sight. We were just, where can we do to keep ourselves warm and fed during these 3 days that we were out?
The thing, we did have Hurricane Sandy here, and I actually loaned one of my neighbors a small generator. Those are kind of things you do. What I meant was, you don't like, I gave the extreme example, but when you're prepping, right, you have to basically be prepared to have some set aside. And yes, you do have to have it set aside basically for people who will be unprepared. And you have to, prepare to help them out too. I mean, it's not only just a good thing to do, but it's, it's also good to build trust and to not have, people turn ugly, because even like today, people are fighting over the price of gas, and then things are normal.
This time last year was toilet paper.
Yeah.
So
they were fighting over Popeye's chicken sandwiches. What are you talking
about? Yes, they were. Yeah.
Yeah. But
and those long lines for that chicken sandwich too.
Let me go
highly overrated.
Everybody wants to go to the deep dark place before they go to bed, but if I could say anything to, like, if you want to focus your energy, focus on the emergencies and disasters that have happened in your area historically. Those are the situations you want to prepare for. Disasters are by and large local, and you want to be prepared for the local emergencies and what you might need for those situations. You can go deep down the rabbit hole and consider when is the right time to shoot your neighbor. But most of the time, it's largely to be prepared for your specific, actual, historically proven emergency that you'll face. So Keep
But
a
you know-
level head, but be prepared.
You know what's funny,
It's
Josh?
all relative.
What's funny, Josh, is that with what you said, not this time, but sorry guys, the time before, was it made me think that resources is not the solution, but it's because
Community.
no, when you look at Anne Frank, right? We all know the story of it. It
Mm-hmm.
wasn't
Frank right here.
sugar, it
Frank
wasn't
right here.
salt, it was moral and ethical, right? It was the value of life, it was the value of your a fellow human being that actually brought someone a moral standard that brought somebody to the place of helping that person, right? And so the reality is that when it comes to doomsday prepper, all that, 2 chickens, 100 chickens, at the end of the day, whether you have 1 chicken or 100 chickens, if you're just a piece of crap, you're not going to help your brother and sister out, is really what it is. And at the end of the day, you'll make do with what you have. If you're ingenuitive enough to put together an antenna, you'll make a fire, you'll kill a deer, but will you help your brother is the question.
Well,
and I really think that no matter how prepared you are, is what makes you the difference between the person who took somebody in with the Underground Railroad or hit Anne Frank, is where you stand morally and ethically.
Well, the other thing on the extreme shit hits the fan, the extreme outlier person will not survive. The people who build their community around them and willing to help people and support and create a community will survive.
It's amazing how much you get when you give. Yeah. If you're a hoarder in the sense that not that you have a bunch of crap, but if you like have a bunch of crap when your neighbor needs stuff and you won't give it up, it's amazing how fast those people kind of fizzle out. And if you're generous with your resources, how much you actually are able to survive better. So that's been my experience anyway.
Can I ask my Rhea question?
Yes, please.
My Rhea question was, no, but this is a genuine question.
No, I'm kidding. Go ahead.
Rhea, do you, before you do a video or a live stream, do you research or do you just know this shit naturally?
Holy,
you
so true. So true.
You see all this on the wall. I totally just wing it. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. No. So I'll tell you something. All people don't know this. I come from big media. Okay, I worked in big media and I learned a lot of things. And the important thing is that show prep. Okay, so I spend a lot of time researching whatever topic I do. And you know what? I was talking with Josh some other night, and he does the same thing for his live streams. He goes in depth. And I figured if that formula works for him, and it works for my professional endeavors, why wouldn't it work for me? So I do that. And yes, I'm not ashamed to do it. I use a teleprompter, but I totally use a teleprompter because sometimes
I've used one before.
Yeah, you know what it is?
I don't usually use a teleprompter, but I have done it before.
A lot of times I go off script, but the teleprompter does 2 things for me. One, it helps keep me on track. And sometimes I could be like Elon Musk, where Elon is like, well, I'm going to sell doggy coin and all this kind of stuff. And then
doggy coin,
and then Dogecoin or whatever. And then other times I could be smooth as butter. Okay. But, it keeps me on track. The other thing is I have instant closed captioning, and that helps with SEO. So now
I could read smoothly, I would do that, but I could not read a teleprompter. I would be stumbling over the words so much.
I typically will shoot from the hip when I'm doing my recordings, and not as still on my live streams. Also, not as much on my live stream, but still on my live. But on my recordings, I usually shoot from the hip. However, I will rehearse it 1 or 2 times before and I'll record it. I'll record it and I'll rehearse this part, and I'm like, no, that sounded stupid. And then I'll start again, something like that. But you know what? One of the cool things about ham radio is I could talk about it all day long. I mean, my wife's like, will you stop? Just shut up for a little bit. She doesn't say shut up to me, but she's kind of saying it in so many words. And because I could talk about ham radio all day long. And she never asks me questions about the Second Amendment or guns because she knows I won't shut up about that. So I can, so these things that I can talk about all day long, I don't really need a prompter or a preparation or anything. In fact, I kind of like the fact, because YouTube, in my opinion, is like actual reality TV. All the reality TV shows you see on TV are all fake, mostly. But YouTube is like real people doing real stuff, talking about real things. So I kind of shoot from the hip a lot more often. Now, having said that, a lot of the times on the live streams, I will put together a prepared topic, especially if I'm doing, like the All-Star stuff that Kyle and I have done. I'll usually do a little bit of research so that I know I at least sound like I know what I'm talking about. But yeah, I mean, you know what? It's if you're sharing information, you want to be. And I've put up videos before that I said something totally wrong, and I had to go back and like, all right, I'm stupid. I said this, and I was wrong, and blah 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 blah. So, and it's not
once, twice,
more than
three,
once, more than once.
4,
The
5,
first time, I'm pretty sure the
6,
first time was, hey, I've got
7,
this guy
8.
Frank who I think would be great on my show. And I had to go apologize to the world for that. But no, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I tease Frank because Frank's a good sport about it. He teases me too. So no, it's I think Rhea, I think that's really good because Molson's right. He's like, do you just know this stuff or what? So
Sometimes I do.
I think that's a great caption there.
On the cat streams, the two chicks in a radio. A lot of times I'm actually just calling from my head. I'm like, a lot of stuff I know. So I do know a lot of stuff about ham radio. Okay, make no mistake. I have almost 25 years in this. So I learned a thing or two. So on those streams, I generally shoot from the hip. On my Sunday streams, I tend to research a little bit, and I have things that I learn. I don't use a teleprompter for my Sunday stream. I basically, that one I speak straight from the heart. You could tell. But yeah, I do research. I internalize, but a lot of things I just know when I learn and, over the years. And I've had great Elmers, people like Steve Mendelson, W2ML, and who else? Tony Lemac, 9Y4 Alpha Lima in Trinidad. He was absolutely awesome. Unfortunately, cancer is such a fucking stupid disease. It got both of them. But you know what it is. Anyway, yeah.
That sucks. Good.
I'll just say there's a certain flavor of YouTube where you kind of just go. Like you turn the camera on and you just go. So when I do the live stream, I'm just going, but there's a ton of research that goes into every show. Every weekend show is always a ton of time I spend researching it. But then when it's live and things inevitably happen, you just go. Like
because you don't know what questions are going to be asked or where the topic's going to lead.
Right. And so a lot everybody that's watching us all talk right now, it's really just if you do it long enough, you start to get a feel for it, and then you know when to turn when you need to turn and not. And sometimes the radio doesn't work out the way you want, or there's not as many signals on the bands as you wanted to do a demonstration of something, and you just have to cope with that. But that's kind of also why people watch, right? Is that you can do as much research and planning as you want, but at the same time it's live and who knows what's going to happen. But that's also the fun of it. And none of my videos, there's only like 3 videos I've ever done that's scripted. A ton of research beforehand, but I've always found that it's just better if you just kind of turn the button on and just record and then just edit out the parts you don't like. It's more of it's a little bit more holistic, I guess, but that's me. It's my own thing.
No, that's how I do it too. Do some research, know what you're talking about, and then just kind of speak without a script. Just kind of speak from your knowledge base you just absorbed or whatever. That's why.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with you, Jason, that like YouTube is kind of it's no offense to Rhea with talking about mainstream media, but it's almost the antithesis of that in a lot of ways. It's kind of just we're gonna make a thing, and sure, some people are more polished than others, but guess what? Some of the really gritty stuff and rough stuff is still really good and fun to watch. It's really your personality, and you kind of figure out what your personality is through a camera lens. The more you do it, you just have to put the time in until you kind of find what your camera.
And Josh, I'm not offended at all. I think what you're talking about is, and one of my my former bosses, executive producer Mike Straka, he kind of brought that edge into where I used to work, right? And he had like a whole for the coverage, he just put 5 people in a room with microphones like we're doing here now, and just let them talk.
I mean, the editors hate you, but yes, you get some great stuff.
Yeah. Hey, this is a happy hour stream. Now, I tell people this is what it would be like if we all lived in the same vicinity and we all said, "Hey, let's go hit up a restaurant or a bar tonight and rent a private room and just 10 or 20 or 30 of us just sit there and just talk about whatever." Yeah, we're all connected through ham radio, but we could talk about firearms. We can talk about prepping. We can talk about YouTube. We can talk about whatever we want to. We talk about beer. Beer is always good.
All
we talk
of
about
those things have happened on this show.
Right, exactly. So yeah. So this is just that's what a happy hour is. This is just a virtual version of what would happen if we were all meet at the same restaurant one evening and kind of hang out together. So
it is what happened when we meet at a restaurant.
That's very true. Yeah, Mike is right. Yeah.
There's probably more
What
antennas
happened in
and crap on the
Huntsville.
table that we're all playing around with.
The problem, Jason, with that analogy is that I would have to pay for a taxi and I still haven't eaten supper. So
yeah.
But yes,
I called it supper.
Supper.
Speaking of which,
Can
I gotta
have
get out of
some
here
more?
because I gotta.
Please, sir, can I have some more?
Yeah. Well, we have been going for about 2 hours, guys, so we probably need to wind it down anyway. So Mike, if you need to go, that's cool.
I don't need to, but my stomach wants me to.
Okay. You haven't eaten yet?
Not for many hours.
Okay. Well, I ate about an hour before I came on the stream because, But yeah, I got to get up and about 4:30 in the morning, hop in the truck and head to the hunting lease and spend the weekend at the county,
Undisclosed location.
Undisclosed location.
But Jason, your Texas deer, from what I understand, are like a quarter the size of Canadian deer.
That's probably true. Yeah.
I think in Canada they call them cats.
What?
Take it easy on the cats, Craig.
What breed of deer
fan.
do you have, Molson?
What breed?
What breed of deer?
I have no clue what you're talking about. A breed?
Probably whitetail.
Well, you have like
tails?
The doe kind.
No, you have there's as many different breeds of deer as there are of cats and dogs.
Hold on, Mike. Before you try to be all like smart about deer, you can't have a doe without a buck. So, like,
I thought you had to have a doe, a ray, and an egon.
Doe, ray, egon.
Everybody get a doe, a deer. Sorry.
So a doe and a buck are not breeds. A whitetail, blacktail.
They're genders.
Mule deer, axis deer.
That's great.
These are the
I don't
breed of
care.
What if your deer is non-binary?
Still dies from a 7-mag round in the heart.
Right. 73 mag.
I don't really care.
Enjoy your animal slaughters, and
Adios,
I hope to eat them the next time I see you.
Well, you will if you're nice enough, Mike. Yeah. All right. See you, Mike.
You gotta make some jerky.
Yeah.
Well, anyone that has deer in their freezer, to quote Frank the philosopher, I'm good on QRZ.
Hold on. Kyle's been way too quiet tonight.
He has been quiet. Yeah, Kyle has been quiet tonight. He's working WSJ. I think that's FT8 in the background with the Grid Tracker or something.
He's
or is it
working
PSK?
for the
Is that
FCC.
PSK, yeah.
It's
PSK.
ready.
It's PSK.
Ready.
It's ready. Okay.
Worked all Europe is going on right now.
Oh, nice. Okay. Good. All right. So does anyone have anything important to say or announce before we close this down?
You just cut me out.
I'll be live tomorrow, but that's the standard Saturday.
What are you talking about tomorrow?
I'm gonna explain. So I did a couple of videos on the LoRa Mesh-tastic devices.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna show people how to use their Android and iOS to actually use them, like the actual how-to, the explanation of how to set it up. Because it is, again, LoRa is 915 megahertz, so it's outside of ham space. It's an unlicensed world on that side, and because of that, they're encrypted. The channels are encrypted channels, so it is truly an off-grid communication system if you were set up to do a mesh.
Technically that's inside of the ham space, but we're secondary on that band because we have 902 to 927, I think it is, on the 900 megahertz band.
There's it's a lot of commercial stuff exists in that area. So yeah, we can use it absolutely. But in this case, we're using just commercial devices. They're
Mhm.
encrypted and they communicate via tablets and cell phones.
Josh,
In this
I have-
example.
Cool.
Josh, I have a question for you.
Mhm.
So, listen, there's
I'm
so
listening.
many facets to ham radio, right?
Mhm.
So, local repeater, there are guys who use their cell phone. There's an app they use. They're 300 miles away. They
Echolink.
log in. Yeah, exactly. They go. So, it's not hooked up to. Is Echolink
Internet.
the same? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
What's
Yeah, it's
the
hooked up to the
what's
internet.
the basis, right? Is the local repeater the base, or is the Echolink the base?
Are you talking about these devices I'm talking about?
I don't know if we're talking about the same thing.
It sounds like we
The
if
LoRa
you're talking
stuff,
if
Molson?
you're talking Echolink, that's entirely internet. That's an internet linked repeater or node
Okay.
or whatever. What I'm talking about are these little devices. They're little low powered devices. They run for like 3 days on an 18650 battery,
Mhm.
and they mesh themselves. Like, so if you can get them all in the same space, they talk to each other, and you can just text between locations with them. All off grid, no internet, nothing like that, and you can connect
Okay.
them to a solar panel if you want.
It's like a commercial version or a public version of Arden.
Right,
sorta.
or GoTenna.
Or
Like
GoTenna,
GoTenna
yeah,
is the
yeah,
same device,
yeah.
but this is
I had 2 or 3 beers that first Laura video you put up where you shared that AliExpress link, and I had a couple beers in me. I'm like, oh, hey, that looks cool. Hey. So
And
I
you
ordered
bought
like
4 of 'em?
I ordered like 5 of them, but they haven't got here yet. They're not here yet. But yeah. So I'm like, in reality, I'm a little bit joking. I'm thinking, hey, I could put those up all over my hunting lease and like mesh the hunting lease, and then people could connect to it with their Android phone. So that's what I want to try to do, something like that. So I thought that'd be kind of fun.
It's all leveraged on the Internet of Things technology. So
Mhm,
it doesn't move big data. You're not going to do like VoIP.
No.
You're not going to do phones on it. You're
Right.
not going to do like big data, high bandwidth stuff.
Mhm.
But if you had like, you can't do a trail camera. But if you had like
Yeah.
a sensor that was literally a sensor,
Telemetry, yeah, basically.
like a motion sensor,
could you
that
do a
could notify you that someone tripped the motion sensor. Like that is a thing. That
Yeah. Could you do a trail camera at like 1 frame a second?
I don't think so. That's
'Cause
even one image is big for these.
Okay, because a lot of the Arden guys will run their cameras on top of their water towers at
Yep.
1 frame a second, and it severely cuts down on the bandwidth rather than running at like 24 or 30 frames a second.
Right.
So it's not full motion, but like every 1 second, the image updates.
By the way, it's not impossible. There's probably somebody that's doing it, but this
Okay.
is, if you're talking about like a hacker space where there are people that are making all kinds of apps, it is literally on the LoRa side right now. There are so many
Yeah.
people out there that are doing all kinds of wild, crazy stuff because, okay, I mean, straight up, they don't have to get licensed. They just buy this
Right.
$20
Right.
thing. It's the Baofeng of this, right? They buy this thing and then they start making apps for it, and they're like, oh, okay, it works, great. Like that kind of stuff.
So stop. Tell me, guys. Honestly, I'm going to be honest with you. Just say stop if I'm
stop.
No. But
Alt.
so you have DSL, you have 5,
Alto.
right? They're all technically modes of transmitting internet, right? You have different ways. Like me, I get a radio, those Ubuntu modules, right? So they're all modes of getting internet. But at the end of the day, for instance, if you go all-star node or local repeater, there is a difference between the two, right? One is just literally radio frequency going in and coming out, and one is internet based. And so when you talk about these different technologies and stuff like that, how do you assess exactly what it is? Like what is the base? I'm going to tell myself to stop right now.
Well,
but
most of the modes that you just talked about are all internet based. Like they're exchanging the voice, your voice data over the internet. It's just a different type of data, but it's still sent over the internet. And sure, it has that last mile that maybe RF from a repeater to your home station or just your home station from a handheld to your mobile radio that's connected to your All-Star node. But it's heavily dependent on the internet. A lot of this, I think, what you're talking about, like Echolink and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, but like if I take my Baofeng and I talk to the local repeater, it's
That's
there's no internet involved, right?
Right.
Right.
But if that repeater had an all-star node that connected to an internet or the internet, then everywhere you connected via that node, if the internet went away, you would also lose that node connection. Your local repeater would still be a local repeater.
But Arden, to counter that a little bit, will also still have that connection between you and another node.
Absolutely. If
So you
can
can
power
pass
it.
data back and
will
forth.
Laura. The difference between Laura and Arden is that they are networks. They are RF connected network devices that are off the internet. So there's a difference between a local area network via in a building via Ethernet, or a local area network set up around your home that's all connected via RF link that's not connected to the internet. So Laura's I mean, I guess you probably could connect it to the internet, but typically Laura and Arden networks are outside of the internet, so they're not dependent on the internet.
But they are creating their own networks.
Yes,
They're
yes, their own
network of
networks,
devices.
sure,
So you can
sure.
do data transmissions and exchanges, but it's within the network.
Right.
With a mesh network, your network just starts getting bigger and bigger and kind of self-propagating, in which you can exchange data. Arden is the best example because you can literally exchange data and bigger packages and do VoIP and all that stuff with it. Which again, ham radio, that's another reason why you want to get your license, is so you can do stuff like that.
Yeah. So Laura's cool for the beginner. When you want to really upgrade, you get into Arden.
But locally, we have this thing on, I think it's Thursday nights. It's called the ProComNet, which supposedly it's sponsored or it's encouraged by the Ontario, which is our state fire marshal, which is a lot of repeater sites are linked. And it's just a check-in net, right? Like you just check into the net and that's it. But when we go back to the conversation about like prepper, shit hits the fan and all that stuff like that, what relevance does that have, right? Like really,
I mean, that practical communication style that you learn from operating a net is exactly what you want all people to operate on during an emergency.
No, for sure, like a net, but without the infrastructure of the internet, the real internet, right? Like, does that make sense? Like,
I don't know where you're going with that.
No, but like for instance, the ProComNet is all these repeater sites over 500, 600 miles connected via the internet, right?
Yeah. So you lose all that interconnect if the internet goes.
That's all gone. So that infrastructure in which the Ontario fire marshal or chief has encouraged to develop, all this practice that's happening every week, if it goes to the extreme, is irrelevant, right?
Right.
Let's we need to probably shut this down. This is
I
interesting.
gotta go
No, this is interesting, Josh. I'm gonna have to watch your stream tomorrow. I'm gonna be at my hunting lease, but
I am in double trouble now. The wife called in reinforcements, evidently, because if you look on the chat, there's a young lady with a little owl named Alicia, my stepdaughter from Cal Poly San Luis Obispo, has joined. So she's probably reporting to mom.
Yeah. All right. So you can drop if you want to, Craig. Does anyone else?
No,
does anyone else
stick it
have
out and go for the supreme execution?
Does anyone else have anything to announce for the next few? Go ahead, Chuck.
We're live tomorrow on Coffee and Ham Radios. We're talking about which radio you should buy.
Okay.
And last week's show was really good. We had Michael from Overland Bound on. If you guys know Overland Bound, he's one of the bigger, probably the second biggest overlanding channels on YouTube. I mean, bigger than most of us, bigger than me for sure. And my ARRL, I'm doing it too. We kind of got off of that when we were asking about that. I'm doing antennas, and if you look at my thumbnail, I've done 2 crazy faces in my career here, and I got lodged with you guys on that thing the other day. So mine's that's why my back is turned to everybody. But I did turn my hat backwards so they had something to still talk about.
Nice.
So we'll see. And I'm working on some. I still have stuff from our camp out. I still got videos from that, Hawaii, and I'm working on some solar generator stuff too. Yeah.
Oh, that's fun. That's fun. Yeah, I've got a couple of things like that upcoming. So
I got a
cool,
bunch
man.
of solar
Thanks.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Good. We may have to do some stuff together on the solar thing, Chuck.
Yeah,
So, but
sure.
good deal. It sounds good.
I gotta hop off, everybody.
All right.
Great
Thanks,
time,
Josh.
Jason. Thank you so much.
Yep.
Have a good weekend. I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah, sounds good. Sounds good.
Why
Uh,
don't
any-
you go through square by square? Let everyone say their
well,
piece.
because some people may not have anything to say. I'm just trying to shut it down a little bit quicker than that. So,
All
does
right,
anyone
well,
else have anything else?
I do.
Go ahead,
Sunday,
Rhea.
Sunday 9:30 live with Rhea.
Okay.
That's all I got.
What are you talking about?
That's my so this week I haven't decided on a topic yet, but I probably will come up with one tomorrow. That's usually happens. But yeah.
All right, good.
You're not the
well,
only one.
I've got my normally scheduled Sunday live stream. Thanks T Ray for the $25 super chat. I've got I'm bringing Sterling on, and we're going to talk about Yoda month, which is December is Yoda Youth on the Air month. So Sterling's going to come on. Maybe one or two other of the guys in his Yoda group are going to come on as well. We're going to talk about that on my channel on Sunday at 7:30, 2 hours before Rhea. Is your 9:30 on Eastern or Central Time, Rhea?
Eastern Time.
Okay, so you're 8:30. Okay, so you're 1 hour before me, or 1 hour after me, rather.
Yeah.
So, or no, I'm sorry, an hour and a half after me. I go on at 7.
Yeah.
So good. Okay.
Plenty
All
of time.
Cool. Yeah, plenty of time. So yeah, cool. So that should be good. And my wife and I bought a trip to Hawaii like 2 years ago that we didn't get to use because of COVID. We're going to Hawaii on Tuesday, and I'm gonna do some parks on the air from Hawaii. So you guys get in Discord and watch for my spots. I'll put myself on the POTA website as well, but I'm going to activate a POTA park in Hawaii. That's going to be fun to do.
Do you have a particular day that you're targeting for that so we could be looking for it?
Probably either Wednesday or Thursday, but I don't know 100% yet, Frank. I'll let you know in the Discord chat.
It'll be interesting to see how you do, because when I went to Hawaii, I had problems making contacts.
Really?
Just wasn't much on the band.
Were you QRP?
No, I was around 100 watts.
Okay. Well, I'm planning on taking my IC7000. So
I did go out after sunset one night. My wife actually went out and videoed me with her phone with the light on and everything. And I was killing it into Australia though, with a vertical. The water was rushing up on my vertical on the beach there. So it was cool.
Well, that all you need is 10 contacts, man. You don't even have to.
Man, I went out one day.
The other side of the radio doesn't have to do anything. All you got to do is put them in your logbook. So
I got 3.
Wow,
it was really bad. Maybe I just caught a bad time. I don't know.
Yeah, it could be. Sometimes like that. But I'm going to try my best to actually activate a park on the island of Kauai, which is where I'll be. So
that's where I'm going next time.
Yeah.
Put the door chick on there. She'll activate faster than you. I bet.
I am going to put her on there. Actually, yeah. So, okay. Anyone else have anything? We've been going for like 2 hours and 15 minutes, guys. Good. Okay. So thank you to everybody who joined tonight on the Zoom chat. Thank you to everybody who's watching in the live stream, in the chat, in the YouTube chat. These are really fun. I really enjoy these. They're always good to get some heated, not controversial, but heated topics like we had tonight. I think it was a really good discussion we had tonight. I think everyone did really well. So I appreciate everyone joining in the chat, on the Zoom, everywhere else. Catch us this weekend for Josh's stream tomorrow, my stream and Rhea's stream on Sunday, Coffee and Ham Radio both days in the mornings. And then our ARRL handbook, Monday Night Ham Radio thing that goes for like 2.5 hours, starting at 5:15 Central Time and going through like 7 or 7:30 that night. So should be a fun time. And then look for me on the POTA spots next week from Hawaii. So 73 to all. Thank you very much for being here tonight. Once again, appreciate everyone. Appreciate all the super chats, and hope to see you guys next month. Be watching for my invite to. I don't know when it'll be yet. I haven't decided exactly the date, but we will do this in December. And I'm looking at maybe doing this on New Year's Eve. Doing a happy hour on New Year's Eve, maybe around 10 o'clock Texas time. So it'll be 8 in California, but maybe like 11 o'clock Texas time. So we'll catch the New Year in Eastern time and then in Central time, see how it goes.
I just got to say, Frank does not need to be drunk on YouTube again.
Well, then don't drink a lot. But I mean, there's an easy, simple answer for that, Frank. But
last year's was a good time.
Yeah, last year we had a really good time last year, and it was really kind of a last-minute decision last year because my wife and I were in Galveston and we were going to go do something, and then that fell through at the last minute. So I'm like,
all I'm going to say
I'm
is
just
you're
going to go
welcome.
live.
I pushed you.
I know. Yeah, you did. That's true. That's true. You did. So, so it was a fun time. So I'm looking at doing that again this year, but more to come on that later. So 73 to all. Thank you very much for being here tonight, and we will catch you guys on the next stream. See you.
See you, everybody.
See you later.
See you later.